Hi, welcome to the Incompetent AMSR channel. Uh, my name's Adam, and I'm going to be ASMRing you. So let's start. Hi, how are you today? Oh, that is so nice. Here, listen to my beard. Can you hear it? You probably can hear it because I really can't grow a beard. I'm 37 years old and I still can't grow a beard. It's like fuzz on a baby's butt. But if you could hear it, it would sound like good, like the rest of the ASMR channels that I listen to all the time. I I don't know why. It's just when I take all the medication that my doctor gives me, the only thing that I can actually listen to on the YouTubes is ASMR because it's awesome. It calls to me. So I think that's why I decided to go ahead and do my own ASMR channel. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Um, I was gonna read a book today, but I couldn't find one. Um, most of the books I have pictures, and yeah, I can't show you pictures over the YouTubes. I could describe them, but I don't think that would work either. Okay, I can't do that. Good God. Yeah, I'm that bored. I actually tried to make up a shitty character. Well, actually, I think I kind of succeeded in making up a shitty character. Because yeah, that really sucked. Good morning, antihero. I really don't have that much to talk about. There was a lot of once more there was a lot of weird trauma happening over in the neighborhood, and yeah, I just kind of ducked out of it. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to be a part of it. I don't think I've even been on Discord for about like 3 or 4 days because that's where most of the autism happens. Now, if there are people out there who have not been on a Discord, then you should probably consider yourself lucky because Discord is the devil. I think it's the loose sphincter because, shit just dribbles out. And a good morning to you, Muffin Button. And I'm trying to see whether or not I have any stealth or ability to be able to actually throw out links. I know Kadant got a link.
Yes, I did.
So what do you think? You think my new ASMR channel is gonna catch on?
Maybe.
By the way, if there are people in the audience that you like and would like to throw the link to, I see there's an anti-hero and a muffin.
I'm about to be tossing a couple of links. I'm just saying.
Throw them down.
Oh fuck yeah.
No, Muffin. I started off the show doing a shitty character named Adam, who decided that he was going to do an ASMR channel because he thought that since those are the channels that he liked best when he was taking all the medication given to him by his doctor, that he thought those were the greatest channels. So he thought he'd go ahead and make his own. And He's like 37 years old, never kissed a girl ever. But, listen to me play with my beard. Can you hear it?
I've been debating on doing ASMR videos.
Hey, you could probably pull in a decent audience.
I mean, all I would probably do is like, I don't know, read small snippets because I don't like making long videos. Like 2 minutes is too long of a video, like for me, because I don't know. I think that for me it'd be too long. So I would probably like read small little snippets, under 30 seconds of like erotica or something like that.
Well, I've seen a lot of them do the pseudo girlfriend, pseudo boyfriend, welcome home greeting kind of thing. Like, oh, honey, it's nice that you got home. It's good to see you. Dinner's almost ready. How was your day? Good? I hope so.
Here,
That kind of shit.
let me rub your feet. Can I give you a massage?
Like, to be fair, or to be honest though, like I do listen to ASMR stuff before, like to help me fall asleep at night.
Uh, I
Soft
just,
pinky pillows of pure petunias cotton.
That would just make me crack the fuck up.
Oh, I forgot to fucking find that and link it to you. I'm so sorry, Doc.
I figured it would eventually come around. uh, I don't know what a satisfaction vid is.
It's like when they when you have videos or whatever of them like pouring something and it's all super perfectly even and it just looks like it's like you get a satisfied feeling watching it just because it's so perfect.
Wow, that sounds incredibly OCD.
It is.
I actually might even like that. Good morning, furry.
Hi, Lices.
Good morning.
I got another piece of my rig in today. The only thing I'm missing right now is the monitor and the speakers. But I've got a pair of shitty speakers I can use until then. So I was thinking of trying to have everything ready to go because I'll be interviewing Justin Smith, the creator of Gulf City, tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just face facts. I may bring in some big IRL people, but it's the YouTube content creators who are almost cult-like that bring in more viewers than anybody else. I know my biggest hits so far in order have been Aiden Paladin, Johnny Mac, who plays AP the Frog,
Mm-hmm.
and Beard Barian. Those are my top three that people have listened to. And a very good morning to you, Ichabod.
Morning, Ichabod.
Good morning.
But yeah, I have no illusions because they bring their own fan base with them, and that's what kind of pumps me up because I want to have conversations with them that they have not had. Just like a sit down, talk about life, the universe, and everything. That's what I really like. And a good morning to you, Sir Adamantine. And a good morning, Chuck Reardon. And Lord Byron. Always nice to say yeah, mate.
You cunt.
You fucking cunt.
No, that's one of his favorite things to say is cunt.
Okay.
Well, because his avatar, he wears a luchador mask with cunt emblazoned across the forehead.
That's awesome, though.
Oh, wait a minute. I think no. He changed it recently. He is now Cunt Lactus.
He is now what?
Have you ever seen the Galactus character from Marvel Comics?
Yeah.
Well, he's Cunt Lactus.
Cunt Lactus. Okay.
And hello, Alucard. Good morning.
Hi, Alucard.
Hello.
I will leave the whoever you want to throw a link to. I'm being preferably very lazy. Oh, I'm sorry. Lord Byron says it's Galacticant.
Galacticant.
Okay, yeah, I like that better.
To all the people watching right now, this nice, calm, quiet little stream. Smash the motherfucking like button. God damn it. Come on. Like, smash it. Chill us. Like, do it. All the other insomniacs need to know you need to spread the word of the good doctor.
I didn't even put show links in it. I figure I'm not going to bother with that anymore until I actually have the OBS Streamlab thing set up. Because I really do think that part of the giving is not just that you like the content and you want to support it, but it's also that instant gratification when you throw up a sign that you can see that you threw up a sign and it's there for everybody to be available to scroll across and read your witty words of wisdom.
What? I don't have witty words, let alone witty words of wisdom.
Lies.
Soft pinky pills of pure petunias cotton.
I mean, that's witty to me, but only because I know where it comes from.
Okay, comforting words.
That is also witty, if you think about it.
Sweet nothings.
Again, witty.
Yeah.
Now it has been suggested that you two just do a stream.
That would be very interesting.
More than one person has actually suggested that to me.
Really?
I have no idea who these people are.
They're like, Cadet and Muffin need their own stream. And I'm like, I'm not Schmeckle. I don't run the Doctor Network. It's like if they want to jump out, they definitely have my blessing because I think you guys probably would have a fun show.
Well, all right, I'm gonna put it this way: the Insomniac stream, as far as I'm concerned, whenever Muffin can make it, at least. And whenever I'm not at fair and my phone is fucking dying constantly to where it kicks me out of the fucking hangout because it shuts off. I've realized that a lot of the streams that you've had both Muffin and I on have kind of been overtaken by the power of the V. The V being our vaginas.
Yeah, not Victory or V Row. So yeah, I'm with you. and I'm completely okay because I have hundreds of stories about my life, but I've heard them all. So just by virtue of living them all,
yeah.
But I have rarely a clue about you guys' life stories, and that's one of the things that I enjoy a lot. I mean, that's why I try to bring on people that like last night Metaphors came on and he'd never done a show ever. He'd never been on stream.
Wait, was this after I'd gotten booted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Goddamn phone. Fuck you, phone.
I mean, I love pulling on interesting people, and I love pulling on people who, they've been in the chat, they've been hanging around, and why not? Jump on.
I'm like, you were super link happy last night, just like tossing them out to everybody, but only like 2 people actually took the invitation. Oh no, 3, because didn't what's his name show up afterward, like right after I left?
Tennessee?
Possibly. I don't know. He has a picture of like a skull that was on fire.
Numbskull.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Numbskull came on and they started debating alternate sources of energy and I kind of got into a hacking fit. And I'm like, all right, guys, we're talking circular logic here. I'm going to end the stream.
All right.
I'm like, bye. I was pretty abrupt last night, but I was not feeling good.
Yeah, well, are you feeling any better? Are you below 100 degrees in your temperature?
Yeah. Tonight I am. I actually got a little laundry done, which is amazing because the laundry is located all the way down in the basement. I took a broom down with me because wifey doesn't like walking through cobwebs, because initially our basement was nothing but tub storage.
Yeah.
But ever since we were given a washer and dryer, and they finally got the shit plumber did get the pipes hooked up. I'm not wildly impressed with the job that he did, so I'm hoping that we're not going to suffer any freeze up, because that basement gets really cold in the winter.
Yeah. Hi, Sisyphus. Hi, Joshua.
Oh,
Hello,
yeah.
William.
Hello.
Good morning, Joshua and William.
Apparently, it is that time of the night where my cat decides she has to go crazy and run all over the house. Like,
Yep.
Something's chasing her.
Oh,
yep, that's a thing. Anti-Hero was making a really good point. All too often, words are just cotton candy, sweet and easy to swallow, but ultimately without any substance. And Animantine was like a great definition of YouTube. Actually, that's a great definition for many things.
Indeed.
I forget the Shakespeare quote now. Yeah. About thunder signifying nothing.
Thunder's, oh fuck, what was it? Great, now you have me thinking. God damn it, Doc. I don't like thinking because thinking is hard.
I know, we could just Google it.
Oh, yeah. Everybody out there without fail has an instant Google PhD. So if you need it, use it, people.
I'm like, if you could tell me what play it was from, I wouldn't even need Google because I have a Shakespeare Bible.
Full of
Tempest?
sound and fury, signifying nothing.
Too late, she found it. What?
No, Adamantine did.
Oh.
Yeah, Sir Adamantine found it.
Oh, wait a minute. No, that's Macbeth, right?
Don't ask me questions I don't know the answer to.
Hold on.
I think it's Macbeth.
That is from Macbeth, yes.
Okay.
And give me just 1 second.
Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time, and all our yesterdays have lighted fools. The way to dusty death. Out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
That is just like the epitome of Shakespearean edge boy. That is literally all that is. Life but a walking shadow, a poor play that struts and frets his hour from this. Come on, like seriously? It's like Shakespeare channeled Vin for a while.
Well, and here's my thing. Why didn't Shakespeare catch on with like the goth and the emo crews?
That's because they don't read books.
No. Some Shakespeare did, but because Poe was the big one. It's always about Edgar Allan Poe.
I also have a Bible.
At least Poe was obvious about his edge boy.
Well, and he was a certifiable drunk too. So
Poe was a lot of things. I did a report on him back when I was in high school still, and Poe was a lot of things, and many of them were not good.
Yeah. There's no subject in these streams. And that is someone with sleep apnea, I believe.
Who's? Or wait a minute. Muffin,
What?
were you doing the cadunt snoozing?
No, I don't know. I was actually just about to ask who's snoring.
No. It's Anti-Hero's roommate has sleep has loud snores, and it sounds to me like sleep apnea.
Oh, okay. That's what the snoring is. It's his roommate.
He has really bad sleep apnea and awful snoring. It's why I was hesitant to come on the stream in the first place.
Is it now? I hate to sound. Well, no, I don't hate to sound it. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks about me anymore. But is he overweight?
Not at all, actually. I'm not sure why he does that. Maybe something wrong with his septum or something. I don't know.
Wow.
No, he's in decent shape too. Just for some reason, he snores like a fucking truck.
Does he use like breathe right strips or anything like that?
Not to my knowledge.
Because like most of the people I know who have apnea diagnosed, they're usually incredibly overweight, and they have those masks that they have to wear at night.
I mean, I snore too, and I'm not overweight in the least.
No, apnea is a completely different.
Yeah, no,
thing.
I understand.
Symptom of it.
My dad's also not overweight, and he has awful sleep apnea. He's on a breathing machine now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why he has it. I haven't really asked. I mean, most of the time I don't notice. I can tune out sounds pretty easily. So, and then once I'm ready for sleep, it's usually because I'm exhausted and nothing's gonna wake me up once it's time to go to bed.
And good morning, John Doe, and good morning, Zell.
Morning.
Actually, my wife, if she ever listened to any of these, would probably kill me about the stories that I tell of her. But she snores. She says that she doesn't snore. So one night I just recorded her. And then when she was going off to work, because we worked on different schedules, I'm like, here, listen to this. I made a mixtape for you. And it was like literally like 30 minutes of just her snoring.
So how long did you go without sex?
You mean how long did she go without sex? Because I have control there.
I'm thinking there were a lot of doghouse nights to that.
Well, no, and it's funny too because I'm a white noise sleeper. So how she snores, I mean, she doesn't like make the house shake or anything, but she's got that regular deep throaty kind. Not like it's a phlegm rattle or anything, just like
You mean it sounds like a small bison is right next to you as you sleep? Just gently nuzzling your ear every once in a while with their incredibly large tongue. You're just like, what's going on?
No, because
and rumbling growls next to you, and you're not sure if a bear has crawled in the bed or not.
No, because I'm the big spoon. So the worst she could do would be, lick my hand.
Why do I feel like there's strange sexual things going on in Doc Griffin's house that no one should ever have to know about?
Well,
now I want to know about them.
Right?
Let's go to the film footage. But I used to when I was single, I always slept with like a thunderstorm tape. But I don't really need it because the way that she snores is like my white noise now.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, hell, I've been with her for 10 years. So, I mean, even if you get used to it, it's as comforting as being the big spoon.
Yeah.
It's really weird what the body gets used to and what it ends up missing. Like I couldn't stand constantly having the people around me making noise 24/7 while I was in jail. And now if I'm like around silence for too long, I start getting edgy and I freak the fuck out. It's why I carry my iPod with me wherever the fuck I go. Like I said, it's pretty amazing what you get used to, and then what you end up needing just to not feel like you're about to lose your shit.
So kind of like the Baby Driver syndrome.
The what?
Have you guys seen the movie Baby Driver?
No, I have not.
It's another Edgar Wright film. It's about a kid who's an awesome driver, but he basically will play music all the time.
Yeah.
I don't want to, give out the backstory, but needless to say, he's got a real bad case of tinnitus, so he always plays music to overcome it.
Yeah.
But good stuff too. I mean, Edgar Wright is probably one of my favorite newest directors. Oh, good morning, Karen.
Morning, Karen.
Morning.
I pretty much liked everything that I've seen of his. You guys probably know Edgar Wright from doing Shaun of the Dead. He also did Scott Pilgrim.
Nice.
He did the whole Cornetto trilogy. Hot Fuzz and The End of the World.
Yeah. At World's End.
Or At World's End, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I really like his stuff. He's got interesting sensibilities, and for Baby Driver, he wanted to make sure that the music was driving the actual picture. So the music that is in the movie, it's essentially like you're in the main character's head.
That's cool.
And it's choreographed almost like a dance number. Anytime, because he's a getaway driver.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good stuff. If you have the opportunity, I would definitely recommend watching it.
All right.
Matter of fact, where is my quit it?
No.
There we go.
I ain't quitting jack shit.
Me either.
Yay.
I say as I pack my bowl.
I have an entire bag of Kit Kats.
I wish I had an entire bag of Kit Kats.
I'm probably going to consume them all by morning.
I finished off my filled-in Twizzlers.
I bought them with the intention of metering them out slowly over the next, week or so.
That never
and
happened.
Instead, I've consumed roughly half a bag at this point, and I started eating them roughly half an hour ago. I have no self-control with Kit Kats.
And now I am sad at my choice of snack because it's not chocolate, but it's still delicious.
I want dark chocolate now.
You are not allowed.
No, you can't have any goddamn dark chocolate.
Well, technically she can.
No, she fucking can't. I said no. That's how this works.
Well, no. I can, but it would kill me.
I can tell that you've never been married, Antihero.
I haven't been married. That's not the point. I would prefer that Kadun did not die. And I think Muffin probably feels the same way. And while I don't speak for you, Doc, I'm pretty sure you feel the same way too. Which means all three of us say no, she can't have any fucking dark chocolate.
Well, technically what I say is I will make dark chocolate syrup and I will put some on your finger and you can have a little bit of it. And I will keep the syrup with me and I will literally dole it out by drop.
Stop fucking enabling her, goddammit.
Well, no,
that's
because
a twat tease, though. No, but that's a twat tease right there. You just
that's I'm going to start keeping little...
Give me the whole fucking thing. Just plow it down my throat. I don't care. Let it... Oh, God. I need dark chocolate.
Are we talking about dark chocolate or dick?
Wait. Muffin, what's the line from my book?
Feed me food and dick.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning, Lo-Fi.
Lo-Fi. She's coming to America.
And
everyone hide your assholes.
Don't hide them.
And Condone, I am serious. I am leaving the passing out of links to you. So Anyone that you would like to open the door for?
Hey, John Doe's got a good idea. Dark chocolate infused with EpiPen.
I'm just gonna start keeping EpiPens and Narcan on me whenever I seek it on, just to be on the safe side.
That is a very smart idea.
I think
When she gives herself a dark chocolate pizza overdose.
when we were at the Walmart, wifey bought that Hershey's special dark chocolate bar
Mm-hmm.
because she wanted something to counter my Twizzler, and I couldn't say no. So I'm like, yeah, if I'm getting crap that's gonna kill me, you can have some crap that's gonna kill you too. Because literally everything's gonna kill you eventually, right?
Exactly. No one's getting out alive, man.
That's like, honestly, if they would have told me, and I'm not bringing this into a sex conversation, but if I would have sex X amount of times, on that last time I would die, still wouldn't give a fuck.
I want to point out that the moment he said he's not going to bring into a sex conversation is the moment Cadunt Muffin went, how can we turn this into a sex conversation?
Maybe.
Don't fucking lie. It's not a maybe at all.
I didn't.
It's 100% the facts.
Saying maybe is not a lie. It's just not entirely admitting to the truth. It's alluding to the truth.
Oh, please, semantics at this point.
Only thing I have left is a caramel apple cowtail. And I think I will hold off on that.
It's okay. I'm eating a meat stick.
Did you say you're eating a dick?
No, I said it. Well, kind of. I said I'm eating a meat stick.
Oh, because you like, you roboted out for a second there, and all I heard was, I'm eating its dick. And I was just like, wow, I mean, at least you're upfront about it. I mean, you're not hiding what you're doing, at least. I guess that's good.
No. I'm eating a meat stick. It's like a beef jerky, but as in a stick instead of in pieces.
Well, let's see here. I still have plans to actually throw William the link someday. And no,
I think you should note that there was a vast, overpowering silence after you said that. And it should speak volumes.
I didn't even know what you said, to be honest.
Yeah, but I like to bring in people that I've not talked to before.
Some people have a good reason not to be spoken to, but I'll let you learn that for yourself, much as I have learned for myself who not to try and talk to.
Wait a minute, have you ever brought him on, or just scrapped with him in chat?
I've seen what happens when other people have brought him on.
Who?
William Stenchover.
Oh. If no. Right now, Doc, I'm going to say let's not for the night.
Dune harsh my mellow.
Well, no, because Willie's trolling of me is trying to claim that he loves me and all of that jazz, and well, first off, we know that's bullshit, and second off, I have my anti-hero in here, and he's almost as possessive as I am.
Oh, cue the Peter Cetera song and get to it. Sorry, that's too old of a reference, isn't it?
Yeah. I think that r/woosh right over my head.
Do you remember the song? I am a man who would fight for your honor. It was from Three Musketeers.
Yes. Actually, I do know that song.
I'm not singing it in the higher pitch because I haven't had any liquor.
There's a creature in the room with me. It's terrifying. Good Lord. I don't know if you guys heard that last one, but it was like a wild monster over there, like some sort of lion buffalo beast. Just snarling away in the background. If I were in the African savannah, I'd be worried.
No, you'd be
not in
dead.
the African savannah.
Why is it gotta be African?
Well, the fact that he's black. I mean, he is black.
Oh.
I mean, that's probably why I chose African, and not like, the Asian jungle or something.
Well, I was thinking of throwing Lo-Fi a link, but then you'd have to get a guy in here so he could balance it out.
Nah. Lo-fi is versatile enough.
Oh my.
Well, what lo-fi identifies as a trap.
So are you saying that there's a straddle factor going on?
Yes.
I'm saying I would let Lo-Fi's titties slap me in the face as she plows me.
That's
okay, then let's go to the footage.
Images none of us really wanted ever. I'm gonna have to purge that later. I think the only way to prevent that from burning itself deeper into my brain is through obvious self-mortification rituals.
I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have too much of a problem with it, though, considering that you do seem to be a fan of Natalie Mars.
Have you seen Natalie Mars? I have no shame here.
Have you seen Lo-Fi?
I have no shame there either. Just you're mine.
Okay, wait. I don't know who Natalie Mars is.
Me either.
Natalie Mars is a transgender porn star.
Oh, okay.
If you looked at her though, you would be like, "Oh, that's a chick." Then she would open her legs, and you'd be like, "Oh, that's not a chick."
No, that could be a chick, but with a dick.
That's exactly what she is. Very much so. But she's really cute. She really enjoys her job, and honestly, she's also like, from everything I've seen on Twitter and whatnot, she actually seems like a really cool person too, which is interesting. A lot of porn stars are just fucking unpleasant creatures outside of porn. So.
I don't know. I'm in talks with bringing in like 3 or 4 different porn stars from past and present.
Nice.
Well, yeah, from your past and your present.
No, I would say Misty Stone is definitely present day. She's like one of the top 10 black female porn stars. And also, I was talking to one of Axel Braun's proteges, Charlotte Stokely.
I don't know names.
Well,
all right, you show me faces or genitalia, I might know who you're talking about.
I know way more names than I am comfortable with admitting.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, back in the day, porn was still okay. Porn was a acceptable form of entertainment.
Well, that, and I think like up until it feels like up until real recently, like the porn business was one where it was still a relatively small community, and so you figured out who your actors and actresses were really fast, and they became like in that area they became well-known names. So you go and look for somebody, and they would have a whole videography. Now, though, everything is amateur this, and all these crazy newcomers who are in for maybe 6 months and then they're gone, and just it's a much bigger industry now, and so it's not nearly as personal.
Well, and back in the day, it was kind of like, I don't know if anybody's ever collected like a series of toys, and you're trying to find that chase figure. That's how your favorite porn star was. You grab that VHS box and go, well, is such and such in this? And you would hunt until you found it. And most of the time, the actresses that I liked were only secondary characters. So, they didn't have a big blowout, pardon the pun, role, where they were, boning every other scene. It was like, oh, they only had one scene in this one and one scene in this one.
Hi, trans rated cat girl, and they were saying I've known people who were friends with Natalie Mars, and they have all said she kind of went bitchy.
Also, random side note, I totally agree with Sarah Adamantine. Jenna Jameson is hot.
I was actually in the process of responding to Trans Rating Cat Girl, and I'm going to hit the enter button anyway. But what I'm saying is that sucks. It's not like I've talked to the daily, though. I'll just be happy to watch her.
And yes, good morning, Trans Rating Cat Girl. How you doing?
I mean, good morning in the relative sense of it is now technically speaking the morning hours as is after midnight.
Well, for you guys.
Yeah, I
Well,
was like, it's not here.
Well, you can fuck right off.
we are men. Our time is the only time that counts.
Oh, okay.
And right now it is 2:15 a.m., which means it is after midnight.
It is actually 11:16 a.m. on the West Coast.
Well, the West
Yeah.
Coast is wrong and behind.
Well, and according to Eric Clapton, it's only after midnight that we can let it all hang out. So you make the choice right now. If you want to stay in your 11 o'clock time zone, then you do so.
Hashtag pants on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna say, I already have my bra off, and I don't care what time it is.
I mean, same though, because I've had my bra off pretty much all day. I didn't have to go anywhere today, so.
I'm just kind of surprised that you wore a bra at all, either of you.
Well, she needs to.
Good God, these things loose would kill people. You have no idea.
Me, on
Some
the other hand,
deaths are
I
worth
have.
facing.
See, me, I have tiny titties.
They're not tiny.
Well, they're small enough. But
Are you really going to sit here and try and disparage your tits in front of me? Like,
yes.
is that really what's about to happen? Okay, stop.
Yes.
I'm not going to let
That's
you. No, you're
exactly
done.
what's gonna. Yep.
You're done. Your tits aren't bad at all.
I'm like,
There's-
even the snoring.
there are-
No. That's not the way you phrase it. You don't say your tits aren't bad at all.
My terrible tiny titties. Anyway, I was wearing a bra.
There are
the
literally
entire car
two
ride.
people on this stream who have seen your tits, and they are both telling you have great tits. Stop.
Well, how do you know it's only two people on the stream?
Doc's seen them too, and if that's the case, then three people on this stream have seen your tits, and they all don't think they're awful. So stop.
And honestly, I follow by the rule, unless you're doing something out of the back half of the Kama Sutra, then more than a mouthful's wasteful.
Trans Raiden Cat Girl is saying, "Bring me on, cuck," and for me, I don't like my titties. I don't. I think they're too small. I don't think they're proportioned right.
Okay,
for my body.
Let me ask you this, Kadan. If the lovers that you've had, because I assume that you've had sex previously, that when they filled out their comment cards, did they write down in the other suggestion part, could use more titties?
I have had an ex who has told me, no, your body's great. Like you could probably use a little more in the chest, but that's about it.
No, he could use a little more in the chest.
I mean,
that's a him thing.
It's probably just because like he had a small dick, but I mean, whatever.
I mean, at this point in my life, my only type is like not white girls.
Okay.
So...
Can I say something real fast, Cadet?
Oh, gods.
Having boobs as small as yours, at least you can give a guy a boob job. I literally can never do that because my boobs are way too big. It takes 5 hands to cover one of them.
I know.
Oh, see, now you would be a problem in my world, because a man admittedly with an average size cock, it gets lost in there and you start panicking.
I was in the car. I've been wearing my bra for I'm gonna get back on the subject of titties now and wearing bras and how amazing it felt to not be wearing one.
Right.
I was wearing a bra for, let's see, I put it on around 9 a.m. and I didn't get home until like 9 p.m. So I've been wearing a bra for that long and it made me sad.
It's funny that you actually say that. I haven't worn a bra all day.
You lucky bitch. I went shopping too. I tried to find a good wireless bra like without the underwire. There's no such thing. Like they don't
Yes,
look
there is.
good.
You just
No,
have
there's
to
no
put
such
them
things
right.
that look good with my tits. Like,
Oh.
ugh.
Well, all I will say to you is, do you know who Licenza is?
Mm-mm.
Licenza is more of a Canadian company, but they have like I wouldn't call them sports bras, but they're the kind that that they usually don't use underwires with. And I'm not saying anything definitive, but if there are people out there who like and buy and use Licenza, they might want to go out and get some while they can.
Well, here's the thing: is like the cup size that I seem to fit, like kind of just right, or at least that is apparently like kind of right, is a C. I'm probably more of like, if there's such a thing, a double B, but I don't know if there's such a thing.
Have
I'm
you
not
ever been measured?
not
Like
officially.
in a bra store?
Victoria's Secret doesn't count. They tried to tell me I was a D, and then when I put the D on, there was nothing in there, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not a D. Like,
Oh, you want something more embarrassing?
Go to Lane Bryant though.
My my Irish twin sister
Mm-hmm.
knew that I used to work for a major lingerie company, so she asked me to take her to the store so she could use my 40% off. And I was like, why don't I just get you a gift certificate? And she's like, well, I don't know how much I would spend or how much I would need. And I'm like, okay. So I have to go to the store with her so she can bra shop. That is an uncomfortable thing. Because
I can see that.
Because first and foremost, the salesperson came up and she's like, oh, so you brought your husband with you? And I'm like, no. She brought the guy who's got a discount.
That's the point when you just go along with it. It's like, yeah, this is my wife, and give her a big old kiss and watch her get really freaked out.
Because that would freak me out more.
Just go with it, man. Just roll with it. And then then afterwards, you can be like, just call her sis the whole time.
Well,
I give her a quick kiss on the lips. Just keep calling her sis. Have the attendants like, so it's sis short for? Oh, sister.
I'm not gonna say that I haven't watched incest porn, but I can also say that I'm not necessarily the kind of guy who likes incest porn.
We're a very open family.
Have you ever watched porn with the Greek theme, like Greek mythology theme?
Egg porn?
No.
Greek
porn?
Yeah, like Greek mythology.
Oh, okay, no, I totally heard egg porn, and I was like, I don't think I even want to know.
See,
I could show you.
Leg on my egg and put that dick in my ass.
Shining, shimmering, splendid. Anyway, I can show you the porn. Anyway, oh God, there's no. Oh my God,
there's everything.
Over, sideways, and under. So
no, there's a fine thing.
But no, the funny thing is, I actually creeped out one of my tower people because I've seen some really fucked up porn before, and she was talking about how she really loves fucking oatmeal, like, and she wasn't meaning it in that way. She meant I really fucking love oatmeal, but the way that she had said it, and I ran with that, and I'm like, oh, if you like, yeah, no, first off, there's ways to fuck oatmeal for a woman. And she's like, what? No. And I'm like, yeah, no. There's this thing called meat fucking. I can show you ground beef. And she's like, no. And I'm like, oh, yes.
Did you
I'm
ever
a terrible person.
Silk pants? Did you ever figure out how to fuck silk pants?
You roll them up and shove them inside.
What?
Okay, so Muffin and I had this discussion before.
You know, there's worse than oatmeal dildos and silk pants fucking, though. There's an actual fetish for cake farting. This is a real thing.
Yeah, I know.
And I swore I was not going to have a sex conversation tonight. Jeez, oh Pete.
You're not. We are.
Yeah.
You're merely an innocent bystander, soon to be covered in our metaphorical splooge.
Weren't you?
I'll be over
weren't
here.
you warned about this though?
I was warned about a great many things in my life, but I've forgotten half and didn't listen to the other half.
So
Which one
Muffin,
did this fall under?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I think I'm far too sober. I think that's my problem. But I got enough
me
alcohol for the show tomorrow, so I have to save up. Although I did get my my generous patrons. They donate enough monthly to where I can actually go buy a fifth of cheap or discount whiskey. So
Sweet.
yeah, they're definitely doing their part to make my show great. Oh, good morning, Michael.
I'm doing my part.
Good morning, Tyro.
Tyro's here. All right, kill the stream. Cut it. It's all over now.
Why?
No point us continuing. Tyro's in the chat. Fuck it. All the fun's gone.
So no, Tyro's not Sparky. He's not going to kill jokes. He just doesn't.
What the hell?
Zell. He's my roommate, right? He heard me say that, so that made him laugh. Yeah, but no. Muffin, will you explain the silk pants fucking thing?
I don't entirely remember how it started, but
damn it, me neither.
It was basically roughly along the same lines as fucking oatmeal, but she said something about something fucking pants. And I was like, how does one fuck pants? And she's like, oh, there's many ways. And it's really awesome, especially if they're silk pants. So I'm like, how exactly would you fuck a pair of silk pants? And she never answered me.
See, now you're getting into like John Waters territory. Have you guys ever watched any John Waters movies?
Maybe,
I don't
probably.
think so.
I don't know.
How about Pink Flamingos?
Yes. Okay. Yes. I know.
Serial Mom.
Yeah, I love Serial Mom.
Cry Baby.
Do I look like the kind of man who has any actual taste in films?
Oh, well, most of his films are completely tasteless. But he did one called A Dirty Shame. And it was about fringe sex addicts. And he invented one called splooging. Where you have sex with food. But it's not necessarily insertion. It can be something as easy as just rubbing it all over your body.
Weird.
But yeah,
I've seen some things.
I would recommend anybody who has not seen a John Waters film to go out and see a John Waters film.
I'm just saying, like, Serial Mom is probably one of my favorites.
I like Serial Mom, but I don't know. There's just until the flood, I still had my my scratch and sniff card from the movie Polyester.
I just have one question. Is she made of cornflakes?
Who's Cecil B. DeMille?
Is she made of cornflakes?
Is who made of cornflakes?
Serial Mom.
Oh.
No, like serial killer. Like serial killer. It's God fucking damn it.
That was
my favorite is still Cry Baby.
Oh, I've been to one of those parties, Michael. But Doc, Zell's saying Cecil B. DeMille?
Oh, Cecil B. Demented. Well, I don't want to give away the ending, but you know, any movie that lights Melanie Griffith's head on fire, I'm completely for.
Okay. And
Alright.
Michael Hatfield is saying he went to a party once that served food off of naked women. Yes, I've been to one of those parties. They were serving sushi off of a naked woman.
Yep.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
and you
because
got to eat it straight off of her body.
yeah, because you really can't slap down a Del Taco burrito on somebody's abdomen and expect somebody to eat it.
I mean, if you cut it up into pieces.
Well, no, because sushi does not have to be served hot,
Sushi should not be served hot.
No.
but it can be.
Yes, but most of the time it is not.
Like eating food off of a body, like that's not, I don't know, this is not a new thing for me to know of. Or anybody over the age of 21 who's even done a body shot.
Body shot.
Do you guys remember the ad campaign that Reese Peanut Butter Cups did? The slogan was, "There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's."
Yes.
I actually sent an email to them, and I said, I think I might have found one off the back of a 15-year-old Taiwanese ladyboy.
Oh God.
That is only the wrong way to eat a Reese's if you are caught.
Well, you could also, eat it from an anthrax infected anus of a cow.
Again,
Ew.
only if it's
No,
traceable
just-
back to you is it wrong.
No, just eating it out of an anus in and of itself. Like, just imagine those little mini peanut butter cups
No,
just
thanks.
stuck
Can we
right
stop?
there over somebody's butthole.
Stop.
It gives eating ass a
talking
whole
about
new
my
meaning.
Candy right now, please stop.
I have found that if you take a Reese's peanut butter cup and let it melt naturally in a superheated vehicle, then let it re-solidify and then not eat it for a month, that's the wrong way to eat them. They're pretty awful at that point. Reese's peanut butter cups are one of those candy where, like, if you don't eat it fresh, it's a shitty candy.
I got to try a bite.
Congratulations. You have succeeded in making Joshua wet. Or moist. Sorry, moist. And a good morning, Fifth.
Buckeyes and bunghole. just placing like a baby Ruth betwixt the butt cheeks.
That sounds like a porno title. Buckeyes and Bungholes Volume 3.
You're welcome.
No.
Come
Buckeyes
see
and
the girls
Bunghole.
before they graduate. Buckeyes and Bunghole.
Oh,
Buckeyes
God.
and Bungholes Volume 3 Baby Ruth Challenge.
Is it a baby
Ruth or is it a
Ruth?
turd?
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I'm against eating ass, because
Poop comes out of it.
yes,
Indeed.
like it's called a shithole. Like, come on, why do you people? What is wrong with kids these days?
You call your butthole Mexico?
What?
Oh,
It's a shithole.
Because I called it a
Oh.
shithole. Actually, yes, I do. Every once in a while. Oh my God, that reminds me. I need to post a tweet. I had written this thing.
I did throw out a link to Lo-Fi, but there has been no response.
Oh, she's flying. She's just waiting in the terminal, in between flights, because she is visiting her man, Tyro.
Well,
she's coming from Denmark.
Well, then what else does she have to do? She's just hanging out in the terminal.
Well,
She hasn't been in the chat for a while either, so she might actually be like on the plane.
See, Tyro just confirmed. Oh, Tyro, did you want to come on?
Fun and random fact. If while playing Skyrim you go to Dragon's Reach and step into the very center of the fire in the Jarl's Hall, nothing happens.
I'm not surprised by this.
Okay, that's just now I will have to ban gaming talk since I don't game.
Oh, okay.
Wait, so he claims he won't do a sex conversation, but just jumps headlong and willy-nilly into them. But the second one, someone brings up a gaming fact. No, I ban all gaming from the stream. Thanks, Palpatine.
Well, the reason he doesn't game, but he does fuck. So
Yeah, I've fucked more than I've played video games. So
So have I.
I don't believe it. Let's go to the film footage.
Well, the film footage is going to be long and exciting. Unlike my dick.
I would say insert your own dick joke here, but you beat me to it.
Not literally though. Not
Literally.
Doc, but not that much.
You really like him a lot.
Not that much. Not enough that I'll beat him for it.
Yeah, you will.
Greetings.
Hey, Tyro.
All right,
Hello.
so this has been Doc Griffin's Ramble stream. All right, everyone have a great night.
So I'm counting down. Soon I will be in possession of a brand new Viking girl skin suit. Yay!
That was
No, wait, I think I'm supposed to announce that.
Disavow right now. No. Lo-Fi, don't listen to this part. Don't listen. We don't know his plans. We are not associated with this man and his need for skin suits.
Oh, I could have done it without you could done. Anyway.
Shh, don't tell anybody that I provided you with goodbye horses.
Let's see, 911. Hello, officer. Yes, I'd like to report a crime that hasn't happened yet, but I think will. No, it's Buffalo Bob. Goodbye horses, skin suits, hoses, lotion, that sort of thing. Yeah, and also Vikings are going to be involved this time. No, I'm not on any medication. No, I shouldn't be on any medication either. All right, fine. I'll call back when there's an actual problem.
Okay. No, they don't care about Danish anyway.
Oh, it's almost like she's Swedish.
Exactly.
Actually, I'd like to extend an invite because Karen's been here I think almost every Ramble stream. If you'd like me to be able to send you a link, hit me up on the Twitters, and I will send you a link if you'd like
Hit
to
him
come
in
in.
his twatter. Just
Take
take
the Twitters, mate.
take your fist and punch him right in the twatter.
There we go. I may have posted this before, but there, I posted a thing
Posted a thing where.
on the Twitters.
Yeah. See now that's the thing too. Anytime we're doing Ramble stream, we don't need to explain the pictures that we put up on the actual picture because it makes them come here so they can actually hear the story.
Karen's working.
Sad.
Wait, is it the Akari bot? No, that's your pin.
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm looking for.
It'll be words. Feel free to read it aloud.
I can read it aloud. I did find it.
I was like, I'm reading it right now.
I can read it aloud.
I can read it so well.
Hey, the new teaser for the Aladdin movie dropped, the live action Aladdin.
I don't even want to look at it.
Why?
Because after what they're doing to Mulan, I'm really, really nervous about one of my favorite movies.
Well, what are they doing to Mulan? I haven't heard anything about that.
They've ripped out all the songs. They've ripped out the side plot, very small subplot romance story entirely. They've killed off pretty much all the characters. There's not going to be any version of Mushu at all. They're going to go by the original old school story from China.
So they're actually going to make a proper Mulan that isn't an insult to Asians everywhere. I'm okay with this.
They're
That
actually-
won't make me violently offended.
So they're
Wow.
going to make a Mulan where the woman becomes the emperor's concubine? Okay.
Well, yeah. The
okay with
only difference is that Mulan is going to be played by Megan Fox.
Oh God, yeah, don't joke.
No,
First
my
commentary.
problem is that they're going to take a movie that was a really decent movie, at least in my opinion, according to my childhood's opinion, and they're going to say, "Oh, well, it's Mulan," but it's not going to be Mulan at all.
No, the problem with the original Mulan, having watched it, is it had too much feminist claptrap in it. Whereas if you watch the Chinese films based on Mulan, it has a much stronger Chinese moral to it, which is
Having
filial piety, dedication to country, sacrificing yourself for the cause. It's a very positive Confucian tale.
I would disagree with you on your take on the Disney Mulan, solely because I have seen Mulan 2, which is
Same.
literally nothing more than a god-awful feminist vehicle.
Yes.
Comparing the
not
two of
surprised.
them, Mulan 1 was fantastic, and I would let my small children, if they were female, watch it if I had female small children.
And
I think
Azalea Rosie.
Azalea.
comparatively speaking, she's a fantastic role model, especially as compared to Mulan 2, which was
Okay.
awful in every way.
I agree. Yeah,
So read the tweet.
I dislike it strongly when Western buys will stick propaganda into the words of Asian characters, especially ones that are supposed to be Confucian, and they update them to represent Western sensibilities. Now, I will agree, I'm disappointed about the music being taken out. I like several of the songs in there, so that part I will agree is disappointing. I'll Make a Man Out of You is a totally fine song to have in Mulan. That's okay. I'm okay with that.
What was a disappointing thing was the live action version of Beauty and the Beast.
Oh God.
I didn't mind it as much as a lot of people. I don't know. I mean,
I haven't seen it, to be honest. All I saw was like a snippet of like one of the songs, but it really bothered me that Emma Watson wasn't actually singing. She was like speaking, and they kind of made it sound like singing.
they auto-tuned her, yeah.
Well,
I like
here's the big reason is that our pet names. I always call Wifey Beauty. She is my Belle, and she always calls me Beast. And that's I mean, I can't tell you over the years how many dolls and coloring books and all the stuff that I've bought her, and I've drawn her pictures of Belle. And it's my pet name, and to see what we were so excited. We went out and saw Beauty and the Beast, and about halfway through it, I just turned to her. There was probably maybe 20 people in the theater, and I turned to her, and without whispering, I'm just like, when does this movie stop sucking?
Oh, sad.
Wow.
No, the worst part was you started seeing other people's heads in the theater nodding.
I'm of two minds about that whole film. Like, on the one hand, I didn't mind it. It was all right. As far as remakes went, it wasn't the cartoon which I grew up with, and like literally some of my favorite Disney characters of all time are in that movie. It wasn't that, but I mean, it wasn't awful. It was decent. It was well done. It gave me some hope for the next set of remakes to come out, even though that hope failed. But on the same token, I'm not an Emma Watson fan at all, and not because of her political activism. I just don't really like her as an actress, and she's definitely not who I would have chosen for Belle in any way, shape, or form.
Not a good Belle.
Hermione is Belle. I mean, I could see why they went that direction. Hey, let's connect that. I will say, Emma Thompson does a good job singing the Beauty and the Beast song. It's not as good as Angela Lansbury's version. Of course, Angela Lansbury's version is the definitive one to me. To me, that's the one that beats out Celine Dion's and John Legend's version.
Okay.
That one's second.
Now,
I'll put Emma Thompson in third place on that. And then the pop remake they had for this was just, I didn't like it.
Now, the trivia back behind the whole Angela Lansbury thing, right? She didn't want to do the song.
Why?
Because she didn't feel like she was a good enough singer, because she was aged up. Now, of course, she's been on Broadway. I think she's won a Tony, for God's sake. But she was like, I don't want to do it. And they're like, well, let's just practice. Do it once straight through, and we'll see how it is. And she's like, okay, I'll do that. So she did it once, and that is the take that's in the movie. She literally only did that song once.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
great.
it was so heartfelt. She put so much tenderness into that. She had the perfect voice to just convey, the love story going between. No, Beauty and the Beast. Belle is my favorite Disney princess. So yes, I understand what you mean when you talk about Beauty and the Beast and stuff. Yeah, Belle is my number one. Because she is the nerd princess. She's the best red princess of any of them. She's the one who represents intelligence. I will say I like Dan Stevens as Beast. Because I like Dan Stevens from Downton Abbey. I was a big fan of him in there. So seeing him as Beast, his delivery, and so on, I like that part of the film. I also like Luke Evans as Gaston. I thought he really filled it in. They gave him a few extra bits too.
Well, turning LeFou gay for no other reason than just to be submissive to what they thought the audience wanted. You know what? We don't give a fuck if LeFou sucks dick. It just doesn't matter. It's not crucial to the storyline.
I would like to point out, because I'm of two minds about that too. My only real problem with LeFou being very obviously more gay in this, because if you go back and rewatch the cartoon one as an adult, you're like, he might have been a little hotel motel. He was definitely gay for Gaston, at least.
Oh yeah.
But what bothered
cares?
me? Well, hold up. What bothered me about that particular portion is that at the end of the movie, instead of just having the tongue-in-cheek knowledge that okay, yes, he's probably homosexual, the way the cartoon did it, they threw it right there in your face. With the whole he's dancing with the guy in drag, and I was like,
really?
Well, hold on.
Like,
Dancing with a guy in drag is a time-honored cartoon tradition of humor. Of like, hey, here are the two bad guys.
You're right.
That's
You're right.
present in many Disney films.
It is, but again, it moved away from the whole tongue-in-cheek concept though once you put it into live action, and they knew they were doing that, which is why I'm bothered by it.
Well, they even announced it before the movie was released.
I know. And
It was a tactic.
Something to be proud of, like it was something groundbreaking and brand new. Well, guess what? There were gay characters back in the 40s.
LeFou's been, like I said, LeFou is gay back in the very first cartoon version. And once you go back and watch it, like I said, as an adult, you track with that. I just, like I said, I felt like they were pushing it into my face, like they were pushing this agenda, and I'm like, that isn't necessary. I don't need that. I don't need to be forced to acknowledge that he's something or other.
Yeah. Well, I think they said virtually every character that Peter Lorre ever played was actually intended to be gay. That was one of the codes they used on his characters, apparently. Well, I don't know how true that is.
Well, or a pedophile.
Yeah, one of those two. Yeah, but I mean, it's Peter Lorre. Peter Lorre was an amazing actor. I really liked him.
I'm trying to think. What was it? M. The one where he played the pedophile.
Yeah,
and,
a serial killer who plays on young girls. Yeah, that's
yeah. Where the actual town puts him on trial.
Mm-hmm. I like one of my favorites, Arsenic and Old Lace. He's in that one. He's really funny in that one.
Joshua says that they already have Mulan porn.
Yeah.
Mulan porn. Of course they have Mulan porn. Mulan porn.
Are you kidding me? They've done them for every Disney princess so far.
Every Disney princess has porn of them. I mean, come on.
Except for the chick from the Toad one.
Tiana?
Tiana?
Yeah.
Tiana's got porn. I've seen porn.
Does she?
Yeah. King's Knight has posted porn of her and Facilier.
Rule 34.
Yeah. I mean, Facilier's got the BBC going on, he taps,
Okay, well, what about for Emperor's New Groove?
Rule 34.
I wouldn't want to see it, but I'm sure.
I wouldn't want to see it, but I'm sure it exists.
Well, it would be gay porn. It would have
probably.
To be.
No.
Yzma's a thing.
Yzma.
Yeah.
It would be because all the lead characters are male.
Yzma is a thing.
Yzma and also Poncha's wife.
Oh,
lever. Anyway. Oh God, that's not a lever. God, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But no, the live action. Emma Watson. Yes, weak link. Kevin Kline was actually the worst choice for me. Like Kevin Kline was the actor who annoyed me the most in that one because I felt he just phoned it in as the father. I feel like they could have gotten someone way more fatherly or way more warm to do the father figure. I'm just not a big Kevin Kline fan.
What, like Brian Dennehy?
Brian? I don't know who that is off the top of my head.
I despised Gaston. I absolutely despised everything about their portrayal of it there. Now, I need to point out that I am extremely biased. When I was about 5 years old, there was roughly a 6-month period where I told everyone my name was Gaston, and I tried to be Gaston because, to my 5-year-old mind, he was the most badass character I'd ever seen. He was so fucking cool. And the only reason he beat out the Beast for cool was because the Beast at the end of the movie turns into that hideous man creature, also known as Prince Adam, which is just a horrifying thing. And I was like, oh my god, what the fuck is that? I'll stick with Gaston. Look how much everyone fucking loves him. Look how cool he is. So, like, to my mind, I would have much rather seen somebody actually, like, really ripped and totally muscular and just a badass guy. And I think who they got, he's a big dude, but I don't know. I don't think he fit the bill that Disney had created, really.
Really? Okay. I thought he brought out, because my problem with the original animated one is you're not sure. Well, I mean, it could be a problem. It could be a feature. It depends how you look at it. Gaston is the well-meaning idiot in the animated one. He doesn't really do anything outright evil. So it's he might be motivated like, huh?
Yeah, Gaston in the Disney cartoon, Gaston is not ever doing anything remotely evil.
No. I mean,
it's not as blatant. It's not as blatant.
It's not as blatant. Like, yeah, he thinks the dad is crazy, but most people would. That's understandable. He doesn't go quite as far as he does in the live action. Live action, they make him more purposefully like deceitful and like, oh well, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna leave you to die. Bye.
I don't know. I mean, watching it as an adult, Gaston comes off as pretty much a giant fucking douche.
Yeah.
I mean, he is not a good person at all. There's nothing good about him.
No. He's not good. I'm not saying he's good, but he's not. He's not like villainous in those.
I never got the idea that he like didn't think that Marcel, because I think it was his father, Marcel Marceau, that was the father.
No, Maurice.
Maurice, there we go. I never got the impression that Gaston was just like, oh, you're crazy. We're just, no, to me, it was always a very deliberate, oh, you're crazy. Let me get you out of my way. You know, calling him crazy was a label applied.
I think they should have had Owen Wilson do Gaston.
That would have been. Oh, how about Matthew McConaughey?
Evil right there. That Doc, no.
Okay, no. Channing Tatum. There we go.
Channing all over your Tatums. Oh God.
That would have been horrible. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, but we definitely, I think we do all agree that, the whole like, oh, LaFoe is gay now, ha ha ha. That was terrible. That was awful. It wasn't even necessary because like the film, I said they have a little like here or there in the background, but they don't make that big a deal out of it. And honestly, you can go through the whole film just thinking that he's got a bit of a man crush, and that's it.
I don't think everyone agrees.
Here's the big dick move on this: is that when Disney announced, with pride and no pun intended, that he was gay, they said, well, now the LGBT community can have a character in this movie that they can relate to. And it's like, wait a minute, he is kind of a scumbag because his boss is a scumbag.
Mm-hmm.
So how is this a positive character for the LGBT community?
Yeah. It was just like an unnecessary headline grabber. It's like, look, he's gay. There's a gay character now. Whoa. Yeah, what?
I'm pretty sure that like from 5 minutes ago, Kadun's been trying to disagree with us. And I think
sorry. So did you disagree with the LaFoe? Look, he's gay. The big headline stuff. Sorry.
Kadun? This is your stream, Kadun. Take it over.
No, it's your stream, Doc. I felt too many people were reading far too deeply into it and being like, oh, now he's obviously gay and they're shoving this gayness in our face. And it's like, no, no, honestly, like you're too offended by this. Like he's shown dancing with another guy on screen for like 2 fucking seconds.
Yeah.
And yeah, some of his idiosyncrasies are a little more flourished,
Mhm.
a little more out there and a little more obvious, at least for us adults, you know.
Right.
But this isn't really a movie meant for adults. It's just a live action remake movie for, kids
Well,
who maybe grew, who maybe like learned about Emma Watson as, Hermione, and they get to see Hermione still be Hermione. That was
Right.
my major issue with the movie. I think they should have cast somebody, not Emma Watson, because I wanted to see her get away from, playing the book reading, like, brainy person.
I like book reading brainy people though.
I like them too, but I would have loved to have seen somebody who's seen, like, I don't know, as an idiot in a lot of movies play, Belle, who has the ability to sing
So
and
Look at
sing
this
the songs.
stuff. Isn't it neat? Isn't my husband's estate fucking sweet?
now,
Um,
so Kadun. So yeah, no, I agree with you in terms of like, yeah, you can go through the whole movie. Like LaFoe, there's nothing in there that says, "Oh my God, this character." Like he's not like making out with another dude. So yeah, no, I agree with your assessment in terms of like the movie content, and people are getting way too much in a tizzy about it. But what did you think about? I mean, Disney's marketing in terms of like, did you think that was crass? Them basically trying to play that up, saying, "Look, we've got a gay character. Look, he's
I
gay.
never, I
Whoa,
never
give
knew.
us, give us first shoe points."
I
Hmm?
never knew about the marketing until now. In all
Oh, okay.
honesty, it was always just like rumor mills going around and people being like, finally, there's a gay character. Oh, it's
well,
LeFou and blah blah blah. So I didn't know that was being marketed heavily. Like,
Hmm.
look, there's a gay character, and it's like whatever. Like, I don't fucking care. Market it however the fuck you want. Like, I'm gonna go and see the movie because I'm interested in seeing the movie, and if I like, and I really liked Josh Gad's portrayal of LeFou. And
Yeah, he's fine.
the new addition, the little change up to the guest on song that he sang, I really it was probably my one of my favorite songs in the whole movie.
but would you agree or disagree with the fact that animated or live action, Disney has always had an underlying subtext for adults?
Yes.
Yeah.
That even goes into like the cartoons and stuff like that they have on like the Disney Channel. They still have adult jokes that are like cushioned inside of like humor that the child's not going to get, that it's a sexual joke, but it's totally a sexual joke.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
look
like
at all
they're
that
not
innuendo between Anna and Elsa, right?
well, Disney's always been cognizant of the fact that the parents are going to be the ones bringing their kids to these movies.
yeah.
So they always had the concept in mind of let's put in there a few little small things, entertain parents, and also to bring in nostalgia views. Because if you notice, every 10 to 20 years, Disney goes and re-releases old stuff.
Yeah.
And that's because you're now an adult. Now you can rewatch it and catch all the jokes you missed the first time. And it constantly renews their market over and over.
Well,
As far as I'm concerned, that's a fantastic marketing strategy.
well, except for Black Cauldron.
Oh, but
Oh yeah, Black Cauldron got thrown in the vault and to stay there and rot. Sadly,
I mean, even
so did Song of the
South had layers, but
that's
Black
not even in the
Cauldron
vault.
was just a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's not even in the vault. That is, they took it behind the woodshed, shot it, and then buried it, and the poured concrete on it. And it's like, no, this will never see the light of day again. It's up there with Walt Disney's Frozen Head.
Well,
like
yeah,
the redhead stepped out of Disney.
But Black Cauldron, the big piece of trivia about that is that's the first time CGI was ever used in an animated movie.
Oh, interesting. I remember liking it when I watched it in theaters, so I haven't seen it recently because it's so hard to find. But
yeah,
I remember liking it as a kid.
Basically, their CGI was like that evil green mist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was pretty much the extent of it.
Well, that's all they could do back then.
Yeah, I mean, Well, the first real CGI sequence was Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan. When they did the Genesis planet, and they showed it terraforming itself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Pixar Studios actually did that. That was the first thing that they ever did.
Cool.
Yeah, useless information. Not going to get me down the road.
Oh,
Hey,
hey,
I
no,
have
hey,
some
Star Trek
useless
2 is still the best Star Trek movie. So, no, that's great info.
Well, I always go back and forth between 2 and 4.
4, the weakness of 4 is it's the palate cleanser after 3. So it's more lighthearted. So whereas 2 is much better balance of drama and comedy, I felt.
Yeah, like I said, it's mood dependent.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're
God
welcome.
damn it. I
Yeah,
have
they should have put Genesis in when they did what was it, Darkness into Darkness. They should have had Genesis in there. It's like, oh, come on, you're gonna do a con movie, no Genesis.
Well, and there's another one where it's like the fans were already 10 steps ahead of the movie makers, and I think that's what Into Darkness killed any chance of making Star Trek another long running franchise, just because of the fact that they're like, oh no, Benedict Cumberbatch is somebody a character you've never seen before, and everybody was calling bullshit on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they really should not have gone the con route. I mean, if they were going to redo the con, they should have gone back to Space Seed and redone that one, because that actually could have been made more interesting than trying to redo the best movie in the franchise. Redo the episode he was in. There you go. I mean, his origin story. That doesn't get enough love.
Well, I mean, needless to say, people in Hollywood make mistakes every goddamn time there's a viable franchise.
Bless you.
Oh my God, was that good for you?
God, you fucking damn it! I know. Ah.
Are you faking it?
No, she's sneezing.
Oh, that's how she sneezes. She
I
wanted
was gonna say, Antihero, write that down. Record that.
I'd been so good about not sneezing on your stream, and God fucking damn it.
Joshua says #sneezegasm.
No.
Money. Actually,
it's-
#sneeze money.
Yeah, that used to be my name on Moonifest Destiny because fun story. So we decided to have a fake orgasm Olympics, and I was supposed to be kind of one of the contestants because there weren't that many women trying to step up to do the thing, but this was during the California fires, and there's a bunch of ash and shit in the air, and so like I was just having a sneeze day, but it had already. It was so I kept myself muted as much as possible. But unfortunately, like they're like, no, just see if you can do one, and blah blah blah. And instead, I wound up just sneezing, and they're like, oh my God, like especially Lo, she's like, oh my God, that was so good. Your sneezes are so orgasmic. And no, they're not. They're painful. God fucking damn it.
Oh wait, I didn't say good morning to Sisyphus. Good morning, Sisyphus.
Good morning.
Sisyphus.
Isaiah is asking, a fake orgasm Olympics, how bored were you?
Well, apparently some of the girls, or one of the we weren't bored. We were fairly entertained, especially because like there's only so much you can do, and you just need to make like a bit of noise. But like the two other girls that were on were just like going for it, like for a while.
It was rather impressive.
Yeah,
I was entertained.
Impressive may have been the wrong
somebody kept sneezing. Somebody kept fucking donating. I think it was Zach Longby.
Yeah.
Was it Zach Longby who kept
It could have
donating
been
every
Zach.
time I
It could have been
sneezed?
Mr. LM. I'm not sure.
It was, but there was somebody who kept donating money every time I would sneeze just to get me to sneeze more,
Mhm.
and so like I got dubbed sneeze money.
So Is that a
Impressive.
fetish?
Word.
Is sneezing
it
a
is
fetish?
now. It
Yeah.
is now. Like, I'm just gonna say, apparently mine are a fetish now.
I mean, because I've never seen sneeze porn.
Me neither, and I am not looking to look that up.
Yeah, I mean, I put that in the same category as cake farts.
I don't know. That sounds like a brand new market.
God,
Somebody's going to
fucking-
capitalize on it.
Yeah,
Lo-fi
just do
does.
chatterbait where all you do is sneeze. There you go.
Oh God, that'd be so much pepper.
500 tokens per sneeze. There you go.
Make it part of your ASMR channel.
Nah, fuck. God damn it, I was trying to mute.
So what we need to do is tie you to a chair and then, like, I don't know what, spray, like, I don't know, breathe pepper in your nose or dust
just
or
put pepper because
or
Huh?
feather.
Yeah, tickle it with a feather.
There we go.
No. One of the things that me and my baby sister used to do, to try and pop our ears, oddly enough, was we would put some pepper in a napkin and then just like it's like kind of powdering our noses, and we would just like pat our noses with it to try and get us to sneeze, to get our ears to pop.
Ah,
My ears don't pop when I sneeze.
No, mine don't either. I have to normally chew gum.
I have
yeah,
to
chewing
yawn
gum
a
works for
lot.
me.
Well, I used to do a lot of plane travel, and I always had a pack of gum with me.
Yep.
I generally travel once a year back down to California to visit. I can't go this year because I didn't have the money for the ticket, but chewing gum doesn't work for me. Like, I usually have to yawn the entire time the plane is descending.
Yawning works.
Wait, Azalea, if the dark web is gonna kidnap Katuncha Pepper Cookie and overdose on that and herself. But no, if
Oh
you
my.
wanna look up the the fake orgasm Olympics episode, I mean, if you want, you can always just I could link you instead to one of my favorite episodes. Which...
Is it the one that you sent me?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it
Be
the one
careful.
with the male fake orgasms?
No, no, oh no, no.
Go ahead, Muffin. Tell him which one.
So I got introduced to the Not Safe for Wednesday streams by Cadence sending me the link to the one about masturbation.
And
Oh,
fantasies.
yes, the one where Lo-Fi puts on a bit of a show.
Where both of them put on a bit of a show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, kitten. What do you want?
Kitten! Oh, I heard the meow.
What do you want, baby girl?
There we go. Link to the Not Safe for Wednesday fake orgasm Olympics is in the chat.
And the
stream.
one to the
What, baby
to the
girl?
masturbation episode is also in the chat.
Yeah, there'll be no Moonfest Destiny tomorrow since Lo-Fi doesn't arrive in my arms until like 9:30 p.m. my time. So yeah, we're not going to be doing any streams tomorrow. But
she's not going to come into your arms until 9:30, and she's
roughly.
Anyway,
yeah,
I'm going to stop there before.
There should still be Not Safe for Wednesday though. Hopefully.
Well, if not, that's fine.
Only thing I have to say is pictures or it doesn't exist.
For what?
Lo-Fi does not exist.
Oh, no. I have photos.
No, I was making a joke.
And I'm saying, let's go to the footage.
Oh, you want footage? All right. That is one of her kinks, so sure.
I mean, one of the things that's going to be really fun is if we do have a Not Safe for Wednesday episode, because I think I know what subject I want to talk about while Lo is distracted. And you better keep her distracted.
Unfortunately, I work till like 9 p.m. like for the next 5 days here in a row, like starting Wednesday. Yeah, I know it sucks. I work retail and they're having me close most of the time when I do work. So it's like, it destroys my evenings.
Retail work is like not. It's not. I don't like it.
I like where I am working currently. We make commission based on sales, and I'm pretty good at it. Turns
You
out.
know, I've worked at like Target, and then I worked at a Walmart, and God, I don't ever want to work for a Walmart ever again. Like, I legitimately quit my job and moved up to Portland without like transferring or anything because there was no way in hell I was starting my new life working in a shithole like Walmart.
Does Walmart? Okay, here's a question. So Walmart has like warranties and stuff on some of their items. Do you as an employee get like a cut of the money if you convince someone to sign up for one of those?
No,
No.
Okay. So there's no incentive. All right.
no.
Yeah, at my place we do. So if we convince somebody to get, well, we don't call it a warranty, but I'll say call it a warranty. Avoid the technical term. But if we convince someone to get a warranty on some of the items we sell, we get like 10% of that warranty price.
See, that
So,
would
you
have been really cool, but like, I don't ever work for Walmart. It's a terrible idea.
Yeah, I'm well aware. I think Walmart's one of the places. Them and was it Walgreens or CVS got sued because it turns out Walmart floors are designed in such a way that if you stand on them for too long, you get plantar fasciitis. Their floors are so bad to feet, it causes flat feet just by standing on them for so long. And they refuse to provide any accommodations to employees, so they had a giant class action lawsuit against them.
They actually have like these like almost like memory foam type mats that they have you stand on now, but it doesn't help when you're standing there for like 5 hours, 6 hours straight. Like, well, not 6 hours. It would have to be 5 because you can't work longer than 5 hours in California without taking a break.
Well, yeah, that's California though, and other places.
That's only California.
Yeah.
I mean, mind you, here in Texas, you get a 30-minute lunch break if you work, I think, 6 hours or more. You get a 30-minute lunch break built in. And you get 15-minute breaks built into every 4 hours or so.
Oh no, in California, one.
That's how it is in Portland.
Yeah, no, in California, it is you have to. It's a mandatory half-hour lunch break before the 6-hour mark. And
Most places won't let you go over 5 though.
Huh?
Most like establishments, like most employers won't let you go over 5 hours though.
Yeah, no. And after 8 hours, it is after 8 hours of working because you have to clock out for your lunch break. After 8 hours, it is officially overtime. Although some places go with 8 hours or 40 hours a week, so they can get away with a lot of shit. And I've actually had this isn't retail. I've only ever done customer service via food service industry, which I also don't suggest because
that is
human
also
beings are trash. But I've had managers. I was unable to take my half-hour break. I've had them readjust the clock to where they clocked me out for half an hour while I'm working. And so like I'll get like a new table to come in and order and whatnot. And I'll go to try and put their order in and it says that I'm have to clock back in. I'm like, the fuck is this?
Oh, by the way, I'd like to do an impression for you now.
Oh.
Let's see if y'all can guess who I am portraying. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Muffin?
Possibly.
Just not quite a vape but I've heard similar things happen with you before, Muffin.
Should I do it one more time?
Yes.
Okay.
If it's not too rough on you.
That's
well,
it.
I don't know.
That's my impression of Trippy Poop.
Oh. Okay.
Because he can't keep his vape away from his goddamn mic.
Yeah, no, that's true. It happens. But well, no, that's not Trippy that does that. That's Pickle.
Is it
Trippy
Pickle?
smokes cigarettes. Yeah, it's Pickle. Pickle's the one who vapes. Trippy smokes cigarettes.
I was gonna say mine sounds like a bong usually, because if you guys can hear it at all, it's usually the bong.
Yeah, you
Well-
can usually hear that.
Yes.
Well, somebody gave me a new mod because the one that I had for like 2 years finally crapped out. So I've been trying to stop smoking cigarettes and go back to vaping. I always felt better when I vaped.
Mhm.
Well, I should ask, how many people here smoke?
Me.
Nope.
So
I have
that's
asthma, so I learned quickly not to do that.
so me, Muffin, and you, Doc, are the only 3 people.
I haven't smoked in probably a year or two now.
Congrats.
That's not a bad thing.
Nope.
I gave up. I had the choice, either give up nicotine or caffeine. So I've been caffeine free since 2000.
If somebody told me I had to give up either caffeine or nicotine, I would jump off of a fridge.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, no, I couldn't. I need my coffee
Yep.
or my energy drinks, and
Yep.
my energy drinks usually.
Yep.
Because coffee is for in the morning.
Oh.
I'll drink an entire pot of coffee in the morning, and then I'll drink like a one or
Monster.
two
Oh,
Monster Red Bull. I love Red Bull.
Oh, only time. Well, this is when it's just starting up. When they were doing Jaeger bombs. I did.
Ooh.
That was pretty much the last caffeine that I did before I cut everything off because, well, it did have alcohol with it. And alcohol, kids out there, if you're listening, alcohol is not only good, but good for you. It's jam-packed with those vitamins and minerals that you need to make a healthy body healthier.
And now, another small word from our sponsors. Camel cigarettes. I'm just gonna say, they're not good for me, but they're good for you because they keep me from wanting to kill you.
Exactly.
Camel cigarettes. They'll make you popular. All the kids are doing it.
Come on, just come on, don't you?
What
want
brand
to
do you smoke, Doc?
I roll my own
Oh, okay, cool.
because I'm fucking. I am Poe. I am not poor. I am Poe because I cannot afford the extra O and R, and I still have a couple more payments left on that apostrophe.
Well, I'm just gonna put in the fact that we're in America and none of us can really afford the OR.
Well, technically, me rolling my own costs about $10 a carton.
Ooh.
If I was actually any good at rolling cigarettes, I would totally roll my own. But the only time I ever tried, it went up pretty quickly. Like, it was bad.
Oh no, I use tubes.
Gotcha.
Now when I have other substances, yes, I can roll. Matter of fact, one of the things that we used to love to do is if we were going on long trips, the test of a good driver is being able to roll a joint while driving with your knees.
I can't drive with my knees, and I also can't roll anything, so I would fail that test terribly.
It's a learned skill.
Okay. So I've done that before. Where I was rolling a joint for it was either my friend or my ex, my now ex, but while I was the one driving because they were too drunk and they still wanted to smoke, and so I did it, but that's kind of weird because I'm a woman and B Asian. Hello, Grant Sanford.
Well, a very good morning. Please have a wrench, Grant.
Good morning. And I totally smoke Camels, Grant, as does Cadunt.
Yeah, I remember smoking the Camel Reds.
I never smoked Camel Reds. I smoked Camel 99s. I smoked Camel Wides. I smoked Camel Wide Menthols. Those ones were my favorite for a long time.
Only one I ever liked from Camel, but they made them take the flavors away. Was the was it mandarin orange or citrus or whatever it was?
They had
Oh yeah.
citrusy cigarettes.
Yeah, they did. They were amazing. Oh.
Yeah,
I learned how to smoke
they
all
came out with like
Newports and Cools.
Newports are too harsh for me, man. I'm probably a horrible black person for saying that, but still.
I still smoke Cools. And Muffin, you're only half horrible.
This is true.
Mm.
Let's see. What was it called? Yeah, okay, I remember. Well, here's that image is way too small. But yeah, they had I didn't know they had that many flavors. Jesus. But yeah, they did a lot of fruit infused ones. They did one that kind of tastes like a pina colada. One that had like kind of a coffee hit to it.
I would have liked that one.
Let's see if I can get a big picture and I'll post it. Yeah, they used to have something called orbs and sticks. Do you guys remember those?
No.
The orbs were like little nicotine pills that were flavored, like had a mint flavor. You drop them into your cheek and just let them dissolve, and it was like it lasted for I think like about an hour or so, and it was the equivalent of smoking like 3 or 4 cigarettes.
Okay.
And then they had one called sticks, and they were the same thing, but it was a long thin stick, so it was kind of like chewing on a toothpick.
Huh.
I never had any of those.
Well, they killed them off after a while. I still actually have an unopened pack of orbs.
Oh.
Just because I collect stupid geeky things like that.
That's okay.
Like I've got the first time they released Coke Black.
Oh yeah.
Which is because somebody was like, somebody should mix coffee and cola. It's like they fucking did like back in 2000.
It was not delicious.
No.
It was ass.
Yeah. It made me sad because I really like Coca-Cola. And I really like coffee. But you know.
I thought you just said that you liked Ebola.
Hey, just because she's half black, only half. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Oh my kidding. But no,
sorry, not sorry.
She's only half, so she only half fucks monkeys.
Ooh.
Okay, let's see. Let's see.
I only fuck half monkeys.
That's how you get Ebola.
Half first.
I will tweet out this picture and hopefully it's big enough to where you can see it. It says it's huge.
That's what she said.
Ooh.
That's actually not what I said.
Hopefully it's big enough so you can see it.
What?
But fuck, I thought have you ever had the little, so there's the Camel little tin cases or whatever with these little packs, and you don't chew them, you don't swallow them, it's supposed to be kind of like chew, except
Are you talking about?
Yeah, it's snooze.
Yes.
Yeah, I use snooze, especially every time I have to go into the hospital since I can't vape in the hospital anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'll grab a snooze and tuck that into my cheek and gum. I like them. It's also good for, if you actually do outdoor working or like one of part of my PT was going and taking a walk around the block, and you don't want to walk and smoke a cigarette because that kind of sort of defeats the purpose.
Maybe just a little bit.
So yeah, put a little dip in and you're good to go.
Walking and smoking a cigarette can be dangerous sometimes, especially if it's windy out. Because I once ended up with like I lit my cigarette and I pack them pretty well. So there's always like a nice chunk of like just paper at the end. And it was like super windy, so the paper flipped up and into my eyeball, like just full ash square into my eyeball.
Ooh.
Oh, son of a bitch! It said that was it was like 1200 by 1700, but it's not showing shit. It's incredibly small, but yeah, there's some of the flavors that Camel had out, but then the FDA ruled against flavoring cigarettes.
Yep, because then it made it, like exciting to children or whatever, and I'm like, no.
And that's not how this works.
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever seen any of those packs of Camels before.
Yeah, they were kind of interesting. I for one, I like gimmicks, like the one Crushes.
Those are my favorites. Mostly because I can open them or pop them with my teeth. So it's like if I want to get out some form of frustration, I just bite into my fucking cigarette.
My favorite part of the brand that I smoke, which is like the same as Cadence, only hers are the light version. Because Camel menthols are already mentholated, even if you don't pop the little bead, and it's like a decent amount of menthol without popping it. So I generally don't. But then when I bum a cigarette off of somebody else and it's a regular cigarette, I just take one of my old filters and open it and pull that bead out, and then take the filter out of the new cigarette, put the bead inside of it, stick it back in the cigarette, and then pop it. And now my non-menthol cigarette is a menthol cigarette.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I actually when I started rolling, the tobacco was crap. The regular tobacco was crap. So I decided, let's go ahead, let's try doing menthol, and I've been doing it ever since now.
It's beautiful.
Although one of the most frustrating things about being a menthol smoker is that, like, I'll have people who are not like, they normally smoke reds or 27s or whatever, like they don't smoke menthol, but they always come to me and they know that I don't smoke their non-menthol unless like I'm nick fitting really hard, and they still come to me and they're like, hey, can I just get one of your menthols? Like, I'm not out of cigarettes or anything, I just really want to try a menthol, like, or I really want the flavor of a menthol. I'm like, you motherfuckers, because it's not like you can pay me back for it. It's not like you can, go ahead and be like, oh well, here you go, here's a non-menthol that I know you'll enjoy, or a cigarette that I know you'll actually like want to smoke. It's just like little fucks.
Well, here's my dick move when it came to smoking. If somebody was trying to bum a cigarette off of me, I had the general rule, yeah, you can bum a smoke off me, but only one person per day. So if person number 2 came up and said, oh man, can I get a smoke? I'm like, you're out of luck, man. I gave away my one freebie already. Because people, if they know that you will give them a cigarette, there was one guy I went through training with, and What the fuck is going on here?
I don't know, Doc.
I don't know what's going on here.
Mhm.
Bear with me here for just a second. But yeah, I would legit tell them, I'd say, hey, this guy bummed so many fucking cigarettes off of me that by the time we worked the same job, I worked it for like 10 years and he worked it for like 8. But by the time we got to about the 5-year mark, I'm like, dude, at this point now, you are going to have to give me a carton of cigarettes. You're going to have to pay me back. You've bummed so many cigarettes off me, and a carton is that's generous as far as the numbers go.
Mm-hmm.
And so one day he shows up with a carton of smokes that wasn't what I smoked.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh, no problem. I'll, I forgot. I'll go ahead and get this exchanged out." And guess who never got that carton of cigarettes?
Yeah.
Yep.
Dick.
I've heard people do
I'm
similar
like-
shit.
I lent some people money once, some friends of mine, because they were a couple, and the husband, his dad was dying, and like they wanted to go see him before he died and didn't have the money to go. And like I had money saved up for, I can't even remember for what. So I was just like, hey, like here's the money, just pay me back later, it's fine. And like they didn't really have like the cash to spend like all in one lump sum or anything. So I was also out of a job, but I have a cigarette habit. So they basically paid me back in cartons. Like every time the husband got paid, he'd just buy me a carton of cigarettes until they paid me back the full amount.
Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Mm-mm.
So
It was
hello,
pretty
everybody, and welcome to the smoker stream.
Yeah.
Like I've
Why
noticed
don't we
lately.
discuss a true drug like anime?
Oh,
That's
Anime's an expensive habit.
No, that's not a drug.
More addictive than crack.
No, it's
It's got
not.
better titties.
Well, you might be right with that one.
Yeah, it does have better titties.
Hey, have anyone here seen Goblin Slayer yet?
no.
Nope.
I'm completely. If it's not a Studio Ghibli thing, then I honestly really don't watch it. The most recent shit I've watched is Ruby and One Punch Man. That's pretty much it.
New season of Ruby's coming up end of the month. I got a guy. He comes into my line now, and then he works for Rooster Teeth, so I get the inside scoop. And he's like, "Yeah, so we're working on this for this and this for that." So yeah, he's like, "Yeah, new Ruby should be pretty good. They put a lot of work into it." Blah blah blah.
Oh, nice.
Stuff I can't talk about publicly, but he's really cool. But he also does works with Death Battle too. But yeah, new season of Ruby's. I'm looking forward to it. I hope. I was surprised by how they ended the last season.
Well, I still haven't watched season 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so you are 2 seasons behind. Possibly
Yes.
coming up on 3. Okay. Of 4. So let's see. 4 is kind of slow. The main. Let's see. Well, 4 is interesting because you have they split up the party. And so each one has their own plot thread, and then they finally do start coming back together. But it isn't until the end of season 5 that the band gets back together, basically. So you've got 2 seasons of diverging plots and then converging plots. But if you watch it all at once, it'll probably flow better than a piece at a time, which is how I usually watch the new stuff. I watched season 1 and 2 all together on Netflix, and then I watched season 3 as it was coming out. And oh boy, that was a tone shift. It's like, oh look, the plot just came, and oh my god, it's smacking characters, and that person's dead.
plot,
Oh,
you
that
mean-
one's dead. Jeez. Okay.
So Tyro, by plot, do you mean actual plot or do you mean like anime plot?
Oh no, actual plot. Like Ruby, season 1 and 2 of RWBY were like, hey, there's something going on here. There's a broad world, but we're going to focus on high school hijinks. And then season 3 comes and is like, okay, guys, here's the plot. Oh, look, we just dismembered that character. Oh, and that character got vaporized. And oh, you like that one? Nope, eaten. Bye. It's like, holy crap. All right, geez. They got pretty ruthless there.
So everybody, in case you were unaware, Tyro is Asian.
Yes.
Really?
I don't know what GS is.
GS?
Wait, really?
GS is he referring to Goblin Slayer when he says GS? What's GS?
That's Alucard saying it.
Oh, okay. He probably referring to Goblin Slayer since I mentioned it earlier. Yeah, there's 2 episodes of Goblin Slayer out right now. Episode 3, I don't know. It's weekly, but I don't know when the episode 3 comes out. I recommend it if you like classic dark fantasy, like old school style dark fantasy. Yeah, so he was referring to Goblin Slayer. It's pretty good. I like their take on it. It's basically, as the title implies, it focuses on goblins. You have the main character. All he does is he kills goblins. That's his goal in life. He was one of the last survivors of his village. Like he hid and watched his older sister be like raped and tortured by goblins in a gruesome fashion. And so as he grew up, he decided, you know what, I'm going to kill every single goblin, all of them, and I'm going to figure out how to do it. And that's what he did. And so as an adult, he murders goblins effectively. And the course of the series, you see him explaining, here is how you kill a goblin. And the goblins in this anime, like normally they're fodder, they are a genuine threat in this. The first episode establishes very clearly that if you're a rookie and you think, oh, goblins are easy, I can just kill a goblin, that's fine, you are horribly wrong, because they're individually, they're weak, but they always attack in hordes, and they are not idiots. They do actually, they can swarm, they can overwhelm, and oh my god, are they nasty little buggers. So they are a genuine threat that you do actually have to take seriously, because they'll gang it.
You're going on just a little bit of a tangent.
Sorry.
It's okay.
It's a good series, is what I mean.
No, and that's fine.
The only animation
Muffin. Oh, go ahead.
Don't do it.
The only animation that I've kept up with every episode has been Venture Brothers or Archer.
I need to catch up on Archer. I'm behind on Archer. Oh, what were you going to say, Muffin?
Oh, no. Well, Muffin was really, really shocked that you are Asian.
Yes, I am, because you do not sound Asian at all.
That is so racist.
I know.
Wow. Gee, thanks. Well, to be fair, part of it is I did train my voice. Like back in my earlier years, like 18, in my teens and 20s, my voice was a bit different. But as I got older, though, I realized that, hey, wait, I'm only kind of using the upper part of my vocal cords. What happens if I like shove my voice further back into my throat, like really start using all of my vocal cords? And that's so my voice changed. That's why I have like the bass in my voice now, is because I trained myself to go back farther into my throat to speak from. And I'm pleased with the result. I have more of a narrator voice. I don't have the timbre of like a radio voice. I actually had a guy come in. I listened to him talk as he was checking out. I'm like, did you used to work in radio? Because like your timbre, there's just like this certain way they speak, the pacing, the intonation. And I was like, and he was like, yeah, no, I used to do radio traffic announcements in California before I moved out here. I retired. I'm like, I knew it. Knew you were a radio. I don't have that. I'm not. I'm not that good, but I'm working on it.
Well,
it's just vocal
it's all about that bass.
So is that what you meant by don't sound Asian?
As far as vocals go, if I can sound half as good as Anthony Bourdain does one day, I'll be set. Not to sound like a giant flaming homosexual, but I could listen to Anthony Bourdain talk for hours and not have a problem with it.
Well,
something about the way his voice resonates in my brain is perfect.
Well, you know what Anthony Bourdain would say if he were if he were here today.
Huh.
He would
Help.
say, "Let me out of this coffin. It's
I
dark.
knew you were
It's
going
cold.
there.
I can't
Okay.
breathe."
Jeez. Yeah. But no, my vocal inspirations would be John Huston, Morgan Freeman, of course. I'm trying to think. There was a third who had like a really and Peter Cullen. You know, if I could sound like Optimus Prime, oh yeah, heck yeah, I would steal Peter Cullen's voice in a heartbeat.
Random question, because Azalea said, well, Muffy, you don't sound mulatto either. What exactly does mulatto sound like?
Not like you?
I guess not like you, yeah. But what does Asian sound like, out of curiosity?
To be honest, I couldn't really describe it, but it's like...
I could tell you.
No, it's not even an accent thing. It's not an accent thing at all. It's like every race has like, or at least every like general, I guess, in blanket term race, just because I know there's like multiple races when it comes to like flavors of Asian, but I couldn't actually name them all off to you.
Right. Well, I belong to the best one, which is Chinese. We stand at the top of the Asian pyramid. We look down upon our lesser relatives, knowing that we gave them all their civilization, and we are very benevolent towards them. That we don't expect them to pay us tribute, but we do expect that they acknowledge that all their tech and development came from us.
Where did anime come
especially
from?
like Malaysia, because Chinese literally created Malaysia.
Where did anime come from?
Huh?
Where did anime come from?
My
That
pants.
weird backwards place that no one really likes.
No, what's it called? It's called Japan, right?
Yeah.
But you guys gave them that, right?
Yeah, Japan as an experiment went horribly wrong.
Yeah,
Like,
that was
Japan
you gave them anime, huh?
But the reason I say you don't sound Asian is because like every race has like a certain, like, I don't know, tone or like a certain sound that's very specific to like certain like blanket races. Like, I don't know, like when I hear Kadent speak, like if I hadn't seen her first, I would have known she was Asian.
Because you're racist.
Oh, really? Oh,
Maybe.
that's interesting.
I don't know. I'm really weird. I really like voices, and I like to dissect them when I listen to them. So it's like I noticed really weird things.
I never. Okay, so
I'm
how
sorry,
do I sound then?
Honestly,
I don't think
you sound very, very European. Like when I hear you speak, like I just imagine like an older British dude that's been in the States for a long time.
I'll take it. I like that. I do like the British. While all sides of me hate the English, I do like the British accent. So I'll take it.
There is look, I can definitely agree with the concept of there being dialectal cues in someone's language that cue you in into where they're from. So, I mean, for instance, if I talk with a southern accent all of a sudden and I start throwing in some y'alls and things like that, then you can surmise that I may have come from a southern area. And if someone starts talking in a British accent, obviously, and someone starts talking in some sort of, Ebonic subset, you can assume that they are, from the very least, from a more African American side of town. However, I think it's pretty heavily stereotyping to say that you can tell a person's cultural or ethnicity background just by the way in which they speak.
I'm not talking about accent though. It has nothing to do with the way they pronounce or enunciate.
You're right, which is also why I said dialect and that kind of thing too. I mean, I'm tracking what you're saying. I'm not. I mean, I'm pretty good at tracking with things like vocal stressors and stuff like that. And I don't think I've ever experienced what you're saying there.
Okay. For example, the singer, what's his name? I think his name is like Sam Smith or something like that. Okay. White dude. When he sings, when I first heard him sing before I had seen a picture of him, I would have sworn money that he was black. Because there's a nasal quality when black men sing that is very rarely heard when white men sing. And not very many people pick up on it, and I can get that. But like I said, like when it has nothing at all to do with dialect, because dialect has to do with an accent, how they pronounce something, how they shape their mouth. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about legitimately the way that their vocal cords move. Their specific, like there's like a sound. It's not a word. They don't even have to say a word. They could literally just sing like a note or say a note or just go ah, and I would still be able to hear it.
It's
Oh,
called
like that.
intonation.
I really, honest to God, could not explain it to you at all. I don't even know why or how myself. I just know that 9 times out of 10, I'm right when I guess people's like races or backgrounds based off of what their voices sound like when they
Yeah.
not the words
I
that
mean,
they're
I'm not doubting you there, but this sounds an awful lot like phrenology.
So you know from listening to him that Antihero is Mexican, specifically a Bostonian Mexican. So okay,
Yes,
cool. We have
clearly.
confirmation.
No, not always, but sometimes. Like when I do guess, I am usually right.
I mean,
No, it's
most
based on
people,
good patterns. You
most
stored
people
them on.
don't guess
That's cool.
anything that I am right off the bat. So
And Azalea, I will
Okay.
we'll make sure and offer for you to come on next time. We're probably going to wrap up in like the next 15 minutes or so.
Okay.
But I don't know. Phrenology for me personally is kind of fringy.
it's been proven to be bullshit on multiple occasions.
Yeah. Phrenology is it's like God, what was the thing for burning? Phlogiston. Phrenology and phlogiston are two of the examples you use of science, things that used to be considered a sort of sciencey, but are no longer. But I mean, to be fair, even in its heyday, phrenology was considered that's kind of weird and probably not right. And yeah, it wasn't.
Phrenology was used almost entirely as a tool to subjugate people.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, that was one of its major points.
Yeah.
Was that it supposedly touted the superiority of one race over another by bumps and lines in the skull, and it was completely and utterly ridiculous.
I think proctology is the same way too.
I mean, I'm not a fan of any science, quote unquote, in which a man has to put his finger in your butt. That just doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's fucking quackery too.
Right.
I remember when I was working for a toxic waste facility, and everybody had to get a physical. I go into this place, and I'm met by a Korean doctor who's like, "Oh yes, we are going to do we will do complete physical on you," and I didn't know what the complete physical was. I mean, he did the hold the balls and cough, and then all of a sudden he starts strapping on the finger gloves, and I'm like, yes, we have to do proctology exam for you, and I'm like, okay. So I bend over, drop trowel, and he proceeds to insert finger, and he goes, so how is everything? And I just look back at him, I'm like, you know what, you're the one with fingers up my ass, why don't you tell me? And I said it like that loud, and then I come walking out of the exam room, and every guy in there's just either they have a look of horror or they're still busted up.
I mean,
And I'm like, guess what? I was like, guess what? One of you fuckers is next.
Yeah.
Anytime as a straight man, you have another man behind you with his fingers in your ass, like there's no real good time to talk about anything at that point.
Yeah.
Nothing, no subject that comes up can be helpful. And in the end, you have to ask yourself the awful, awful question afterwards. Did I like it?
Yeah.
No.
The other line you could have said was, hey, thanks, Doc. My reception's better.
Yeah.
Could you buy me a drink first?
You find my car keys and we'll drive us out.
Look,
Oh,
if you want to have conversation with this event, you have to buy better whiskey.
A very good morning to you, Henry G. Have a wrench.
Morning.
And welcome, Brother Killing Joke.
hey, it's Killing Joke. Cool.
A very good morning to you, sir. I'd throw you a link if you wanted to hop on, but all depends. You might not have had your coffee yet.
Who?
Killing Joke.
Joker.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to know what he's like before his coffee. I mean, you guys know that I'm relatively chill. That's because I don't stream before my coffee. Before my coffee, I'm murderous rage ball.
I'm pretty chill, but I also spend a lot of time smoking pot. So
Oh, that helps.
yeah,
I
I'm like
don't.
smoking right now.
I just need coffee. Coffee's good.
The duck walk.
What?
The duck walk. The only thing I can think of is Chuck Berry when somebody says duck walk.
Duck walk?
Yeah. Henry says, "Hey, who remembers the duck walk?"
I do not.
That is not ringing any bells at all. So apparently none of us.
The duck walk is a ridiculous, I guess, exercise you're forced to perform when you go through your initial assessment to see if you can do military service. It requires you to drop down low with a strange motion I can't describe, sort of crouch walk across the floor for anywhere from 10 to 15 feet.
Okay, yeah, I just found it here. Yeah, apparently it destroys your knees, but doesn't do anything for you.
But it also shows your level of maneuverability.
And yeah, that's cool, Joke. We're going to be on for a little bit longer, so if not, probably we'll send people over to if you're going to do WJOKE this morning. And I would advise anybody who is in the chat who has not subscribed to Killing Joke, please do make sure. Just click on his name, go to his channel, sub out. He has more copyright claims on him than probably any YouTuber alive. I think, and he can confirm this for me. I think he's up over like 500 now.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but claims are not strikes. And, basically what they're saying is, oh, well, you're using our shit, so we're going to take your money. Well, guess what, dumbasses? His channel's not monetized. So take all of those $0. But, yeah, he's a good DJ. I think he missed his calling.
There we go. Yeah, I just threw him a sub. I actually forgot to subscribe to him. Whoopsie.
I'm
That has been remedied.
I'm very likely to have a claim or two on my channel soon. I want to do readings of a certain book series that I really, really like. And I have been told by every single person I have brought the idea up to that I will get copyright claim for reading them aloud. I'm not worried about it, though, because my channel is not monetized, never will be monetized, and I'm not looking to get monetized. So it doesn't bother me that much.
If I was going to read out books, I'd try to go for like old-timey books, not that aren't copyrighted, or just like stale philosophical tracks that they're unlikely, to hunt me down and claim it.
Well, you actually could get a strike if you're doing copyrighted material. Now, the people that or the person that you want to read, is this a successful kind of writer?
Not me or anti?
They're dead.
What? Who is it?
They're dead.
Okay.
It's David Eddings. He wrote the Tamuli, the Elenium, the Belgariad, the Malorian, high fantasy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of familiar. Let me ask this: do you know who's got control of his estate?
I want to say it's his family, but it could be Random House themselves.
Well, it's really easy to find out whether or not they'll strike you. you can just, it's easy. Just go to the family and say, hey, listen, you know, I don't monetize anything. I really respect, I really respect your dad or, you know, your brother's writing. And I'd like to do audio adaptations. Are you guys cool with that? And you know, that'll either clear the path or shut you down.
Yeah, I mean, it would never be something to make money off of. I genuinely find his books are basically my comfort food books. I think they're absolutely freaking amazing, and I'd love to be able to put them out for other people to read because for some reason they're just not very well known among the current generation. I think they're amazing fantasy books that need to be out there.
Well, and approach it as a fanboy. You know, I would really like to do this because I'm enamored with these writings, and you'd
Tribute.
be
I want
surprised.
a tribute or homage. Yes.
Yeah, you would be surprised how receptive people are. I know there are people nowadays that do narration channels, and they steal the shit out of everything. I've had people, well, the creepypasta shit that I was writing there for a while. I've had people co-op it and use it without my permission. And honestly, I wouldn't have had any problem with it had they come to me first and said, "Hey, I want to do this. Is this cool?" You know, 90% of the time I'll say yes. But there are people out there who, I mean, the whole thing about, you know, wanting to stay relevant, they're jonesing for content, and you know, they will not even bother to ask anybody. And that's the big first mistake. But yeah, I mean, the worst they can say is no. Best thing they can say is yes. That's why. That's how I do my booking all the time. You know, my fail rate is much greater than my success rate, but you know, I never know until I ask them.
Yeah. I mean, it's a factor, you know.
So now we're getting ready to come up to the top of the hour.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking this might be a good time to start some shilling. Who
Sounds
would
good.
like to begin?
Well, anti-hero starts with A, so he should go first. He has the most to shill. I mean, he's got so many shows and projects and videos coming up, and his channel is just taking off and it's packed with content. Everyone needs to subscribe.
Tyro.
Like
Tyro.
he has dozens of
Tyro.
videos coming.
Tyro, good God, shut up. Like, for real. I have nothing to shill. I don't really make any content. I'm on Army of Snartness with Antoine over on Help for the Guildless, and at some point I'll probably be on Moonifest Destiny doing something silly with everybody else. But I don't really produce any content because the sole purpose of me being on YouTube is to have fun on streams like this one. You can follow me on Twitter at AntiHeroCast.
And would you mind slapping that into the chat?
Sure.
Slap. Tyro, go.
Oh, me? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm Tyro and Co8. I have my own channel. I also do Moonfest Destiny normally on Tuesdays. As mentioned, because Lo-Fi it will be in transit, we will not have Moonfest tomorrow. But we'll be back the following Tuesday because, you know, she will be with me, and that'll be nice. So we will have a show. Well, it'll be 2 hosts, 1 mic. We might do some other streams too randomly since we're going to be together. I've got at least one collaboration video planned with her. I'm writing the script for it as we speak on internet conflict, dealing with internet conflict, because we have some experience with that. We have some other things planned too, like I've got some board games. We're probably going to, you know, do recordings of us playing board games for either her channel or the Moonfest channel. I don't know, whatever. We also need to finish up our review of Cells at Work. I also want to do a review of Goblin Slayer because, as you can tell, I really like it. It's quite good. I think
Really?
I think she still needs to watch it. I'm not sure though.
You like Goblin Slayer? I never would have guessed over the 20 different times you've mentioned it.
Oh, you're being sarcastic. I'm like, wait, huh? Okay.
So,
No,
so
dead
will one of these streams be on Plex Storm?
Plex Storm?
Oh
That
my
is
god!
a
You don't know what Plex Storm is?
Not off the top of my head. I might know of it, just I don't know the name.
Plex Storm is one of the streaming platforms where they don't give a rat's ass what you do.
bow chicka bow wow.
There you go.
Oh my. Adult.
It's kind of like Chatterbait but funner.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's interesting. So this is so Plex Storm is going to be the new Twitch.
There are people that are starting to migrate over there now.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, because all you need is Streamlabs. If you got Streamlabs, you don't need Twitch to monetize. Just have people give you money in Streamlabs. Boom, done.
Well, and if you want to talk shit about somebody, definitely Twitch is not the place to be anymore.
No. Yeah, I mean, well, Twitch hasn't been the place to be since they banned Yandere Simulator. Plus all the censorship, plus, the anti-booby streamer crap that they've been shoveling. So it's like, no, screw Twitch. Their market dominance needs to die out.
I honestly, they're not protecting anybody because Rule 34 has been in effect ever since the internet has existed. So if you've got, a 12-year-old out there, they're probably already been exposed to all the things that you wanted to keep them away from anyway. So, if Twitch had, booby streamers that were just wearing pasties, they shouldn't really give a rat's ass about it as long as, the platform is giving them bigger and better visibility.
Mm-hmm.
Or that's what I kind of think.
Yeah. No, I agree. And hopefully we'll get, hopefully Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube here will get replaced eventually. YouTube will be the hardest nut to crack. I think Twitter will be the first to fall because they're the smallest of the three. But I think with Gab chugging away and some of the others, I think Twitter days will be the first to fall, and then Facebook will be next. I think people will finally get sick of Facebook basically working for the government. So hopefully YouTube is, oh god, it's gonna be hard to crack YouTube.
Facebook's still got the backdoor commerce thing going on because most of the people who end up streaming, it's a big thing for sellers. Doing auctions online or that kind of thing. That's probably what it's going to move into when people just migrate off of it, because there is going to be the next big thing within 5 years.
Oh yeah, there always is with the tech giants. The only way a tech giant can effectively be a monopoly, and really the only way you can have a monopoly, period, is through government intervention of some sort. If people are dumb enough to increase government regulation of the tech companies, then you can have them enshrined and permanent, which is one reason they're pushing for that. But so long as we avoid that, it should be possible to replace them with something better down the line. Hopefully, a company that wants profits, not morals. God, I never thought I would see, capitalism get corrupted by moral grandstanding by corporations. It's like, oh my God, what the hell? Rockefeller wanted money. He didn't care about what people's lives. He just wanted money, and that was fine.
Well, moral fagging will always mess with your checkbook.
Yeah.
But,
it's depressing.
Sometimes people have very hard lessons to learn. Look at Marvel.
Oh, yeah. At least the movies are good. So long as Kevin Feige, is it Feige or Feige? I can never remember.
Feige.
Okay, yeah. Feige is the other one. There's two. There's like Kevin Feige, who's terrible, and there's Kevin Feige, who's awesome. their names are so similar. But so long as Feige keeps his head straight, we should still have good Marvel movies. I think Captain Marvel might be a little, I'm not. I don't have high hopes, but the Avengers movies are great. The Rousseau brothers are great. I really hope they get the guy who did the third Thor movie to do Guardians. What was his name?
Oh,
Uh,
Tiki.
Ti-
Yeah, Wahiti or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully he does the next Guardians. I think that'll be fun. They've got some good directors in their crop. They've got some good writers in their stables there for the movie side. Comic side. I could go on and on and on and on about that.
Well, I just find the irony that Warner Brothers can't do anything right on the silver screen, but they're doing good on the small screen, and it's the reverse for Marvel.
Yeah, and they're all in the same house. People are saying it's because the infighting, the Warner Brothers infighting, is so bad. Apparently, they have a very toxic corporate culture where even though it's all in the same house, the different departments. So you have comics, you have toys, their TV and cartoons, and you have their movies. All different departments, all different heads, and they all vie for supremacy, duking it out, and so no one can really cooperate and get stuff done. And that's what's causing the issues.
Well, and Zack Snyder has only ever made 2 good movies.
Which two?
Well, definitely the remake for Dawn of the Dead. And I think, personally, Watchmen.
Yes, I'll agree on Watchmen. For sure. Now, I like 300 as well. I also like 300. And I enjoyed Sucker Punch. Derivative, it was not original or like challenging or groundbreaking, but it was fun. I especially enjoyed the steampunk zombie World War One German troops in there. That was fun. That was a fun sequence.
Well, I can see where it would appeal to a gamer, but since I'm not a gamer, I wasn't very enthralled with Sucker Punch.
Totally understand. And here's the thing, I like Zack Snyder's philosophy of films. Like when he talks about how he approaches movies and what his goal is to do with movies, I really like it. And I wish more directors had that same attitude. It's just his technical skill is not on par with his thematic intent. Like he basically he wants to pursue an extremely high level of film craft. That we don't see very often, and he wants that, and that's great, but his skill level isn't up to task, and that's why he's falling short. Like Man of Steel, like you could see some of the really cool ideas he had there, but he didn't have the talent to pull it off correctly. You could see the missteps.
And technically, he wasn't a Superman fan either. He wasn't a dyed-in-the-wool reader. Whereas, like Sam Raimi grew up with Spider-Man comic books.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 is still my favorite Spider-Man movie.
I thought that one was pretty kick-ass.
Yeah.
When they went and did the Amazing Spider-Man setup, the first one had some good potential to it.
Good potential. It ran out of steam like about 2/3 of the way in.
Yeah, well, it's one of the first time. Well, I'd say it's the first time that they actually got the smartass side of the character right.
Yeah, no, Garfield. I liked Garfield because he got the best one-liners of the 3 Spider-Men. He's had the best one-liners. I agree. Good. I'm glad someone else caught that. Yeah. Yes. Totally agree.
Yeah, and I think Tom Holland's doing a great job.
Oh yeah, I like Holland is that fresh-faced kid, Spidey, like early Stan Lee Spidey, and that yeah.
I
don't think
really disliked the first 3 Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, because Tobey Maguire. First off, Tobey Maguire's built like me. He just looks short and stocky. He looks doughy, and that's not Spidey. And then again, the large scale lack of really any one-liners. I don't know why they kept persisting in using Green Goblin and that variation. Doc Ock was at least done okay, and then the travesty, and I do mean the travesty, that was their version of Venom.
Yeah,
which
well,
is just a
that's
god awful nightmare.
yeah. To be
I'm
fair,
sorry. The first three are just irredeemable to me.
oh, well, to be fair, with Venom, it was forced down Raimi's throat. He had to put it in there. It was like they told him, "You're going to do this, or we're not going to let you do a third movie." He
Sony
wanted
has been
Sandman.
fucking Venom since the start.
Well, but dude, that's why Raimi put in the disco Rico Suave scene. It was legitimately a fuck you to the studio.
Was it?
Yeah.
I would not be surprised. Raimi has that kind of sense of humor. Yeah.
Yeah, he basically was like, I don't want to do Venom. I want to complete this this arc. And they're like, no, the third one, bigger, badder, better. And so you can tell the scenes that he really didn't want to film. So he kind of went really overboard.
Yeah.
And the whole dancing thing was just a big middle finger.
Yeah. But I
with
love the third film, though. I think Raimi was at his best when he was focusing on the pathos of the villain and to contrast with Spider-Man. That's why Doc Ock, that's why Spider-Man 2 is still my favorite Spider movie, because he gave that tragic edge to Doc Ock. He makes a little lizard in there, too, of course. But he gave that tragic edge to him of, the scientist who loses himself to the work, and he contrasts that with, Peter possibly losing himself to Spider-Man. And plus you have that it does the best. Spider-Man 2 does the best of both capturing Aunt May's character. Like, she's in the bank, money spills out all over the place from the fight between Ock and Spidey, and one of the bank tellers is like reaching over to maybe grab something, and she smacks it out of his hand. It's like, no, she's broke. She's about to lose her house, and she's still, she's not going to take money off the floor because she's Aunt May. She is a moral pillar of she is the most honest character, arguably one of the most honest characters in the entire Marvel universe. And they captured that, and they captured the struggle of the poverty and losing Uncle Ben. That one did the best job of representing those struggles of Spider-Man's early life from the early comics and putting that into film. That one nailed it the best. Like, that's one of my complaints with Homecoming is, I get it that Peter's an outcast and all, but you're really not getting any sense that Aunt May is like put out by Uncle Ben's death. Here she is making out with Tony Stark. It's like, okay, that's funny, I guess, but it's this Spider-Man's whole life is supposed to be a kind of a bit of a tragedy.
I haven't seen Homecoming yet.
Oh, okay.
Homecoming, I enjoyed it.
I liked it.
I still think Marissa Tomei as Aunt May was a bad casting choice. It should have been an older actress.
I like Tomei more than Sally Fields, but only because I don't like Sally Fields very much.
I'll be honest. I'm a Venom fanboy, so
I understand why you don't like Spider-Man 3. Yeah, have you seen Venom?
I have not, only because I don't have the funding to go do so right now. I am very, very leery about it.
It's not bad. Let's put it that way. It's not great, but it's not bad.
When it first came out and I saw the unrated trailers and they were saying it was unrated yet, I was really excited because it looked like they were going to go for a hardcore, I say realistic and I mean realistic to the comics, real to the comic portrayal version of Venom who eats people and does whatever he wants. And I was excited because Spider-Man 3 had made me want to kill everything. And then they said, we're going to go PG-13. We're going to keep it family friendly. We're going to make it dark and edgy, but we're never really going to show anything. And I'm like, that bothered me. And then they said, well, we're going to make it like Dark Knight Rises or whatever one with Heath Ledger. And that made me feel a little bit better. And And then I started hearing all the awful reviews. And while I don't tend to listen to most reviews, I mean, I enjoy the Transformers movies, for fuck's sake.
Mhm.
I don't listen to most reviews, but on the other hand, there are a lot of really awful reviews.
Yeah.
But then I started paying attention to one of the things that kept coming up in the reviews is that people kept getting mad at it because they said, "Oh, it's like an '80s buddy cop movie," and then I realized
That's not a bad
like,
thing, though.
Yeah.
well, hold on, because then I realized some of my favorite flicks,
Yeah.
some of my favorite movies are Lethal Weapon 1 through 4 and Die Hard and Tango and Cash, and I was like, maybe this will be a great movie. So now
Yeah.
I'm just waiting to have the money.
You're
Hey.
starting to learn how to decode the Biswell critics, because remember
Anti-hero.
because critics now have become, well, I mean, most movie critics now are NPCs. They're pre-coded, and so once you can decipher the language that they've been programmed with, you can figure out whether a movie's actually good or bad. There are genuinely bad movies that get bad reviews. So not just because critics slam it doesn't mean it's a good movie. But there are a lot of movies that when the critics praise it, that's a sign that, oh, this is going to be a bad movie. Like Last Jedi.
Anti-hero, look in the chat. There's the link to Venom. It's a cam version, but that's the whole movie.
You're promoting piracy? Oh my goodness!
No, there's no torrents. There's no downloading. It's simply streaming.
I am shocked and appalled at you, Mr. Griffin.
This has a link to download in high def.
I wouldn't.
You're
just
promoting
make
piracy.
sure you've got your ad block on, and you go to the trailer part.
I'm just letting you know, I'm not going to download it. I'm just saying you're promoting piracy.
No, I'm not.
Are you going to claim to be the captain now? Is that what's going to happen here? Are you going to point at yourself and say, "I'm the captain now"?
Damn it, Jim! I'm a doctor.
Oh, well, yeah, that's right. You're the doctor. I'm the science officer. Anyway,
but I use these guys all the time because I can't fucking afford it. I can probably go. We probably got the budget to go see a movie like maybe once every 6 months.
Yeah, I know that. I know
and that's usually at the Dollar Saver.
Yeah, Lo-Fi and I plan to see at least 2 films while she's here. That way we can review it. One of them will be Venom. I've been waiting on that. I've got the tickets for it. We will go see Venom probably this week. The other one that I want to see is Gosnell, which is so on the opposite end of kind of the movie watching. So like cheesy popcorn flick and holy crap drama. I don't know how Gosnell's going to be. I mean, it's got Dean Cain. Dean Cain doesn't suck, but it could kind of be like Atlas Shrugged, where it's a conservative movie effort that the acting just brings it down, or it could even be as bad as the God's Not Dead stuff, where like the moral message just gets beaten into your skull so hard that you're like, ow, stop, please, no, stop this movie, ow. So I'm curious what they do with it. Is it a good dramatic film of Gosnell, who did horrifying things, or is it do they cheese it up too far? Do they push it too far? So I'm curious because you can't trust the critics on that one. They're going to slam it no matter what.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to watch next. And it certainly isn't going to be The Spy Who Dumped Me.
Oh, God.
What?
Is that the one with Kate McKinnon?
Yes. And Mila Kunis.
See, I wish... Oh, man. Kate McKinnon is really good at physical humor. Like, she was the one thing in the new Ghostbusters that I liked. Like, I liked her as... I forgot the name. Holtzman. I liked her as Holtzman because they didn't give her a lot to work with, but she tried really hard to make the character funny. And if you look at like her in the scene, she's doing something physical or something in the background. She's the only one there of the 4 who was really putting effort into making it funny. Like I would love to have like a funny steampunk comedy kind of thing with like her as the main character. And so you have, crazy steampunk science lady played by Kate McKinnon just running around doing crazy steampunk things. I would like that. Don't let her improv too much. But if you gave her good material and and made it decent, you could probably get a good comedy out of her. It's just I feel like she's being fed trash.
I'd do Melissa McCarthy in a heartbeat.
I don't like Melissa McCarthy. Melissa McCarthy never makes me laugh. Like no, she's not funny to me.
I don't want her to make me laugh. I want her to make me come.
Wait, what?
He said he would do her in a heartbeat.
McCarthy doesn't do anything for me on that front either. Sorry.
But she could do my front and maybe even a little bit of my back as long as she bought me dinner.
Oh, okay.
Aww.
I regard Kate McKinnon as better looking than Melissa McCarthy.
I think if you would compare the two, and since it's getting to the end of the night, I don't mind about the sex thing. That one of them is going to be more fun in bed, and I'm pretty sure I know which one it is. And her name is not Kate.
All right. Well, Kate's also a lesbian, so hey, she wouldn't be in bed with us anyway.
Well, you never know. When it gets close to closing time at the bar, everybody gets pretty.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway,
it's the Kevin Smith logic. No, I don't think I will bother to watch First Man either.
Oh God, no! I'm boycotting that. After Buzz Aldrin slammed it, and both Chuck Yeager and Buzz Aldrin have both said that the director and actors are full of crap. So no, I am not giving that any money.
Although I might watch A Star Is Born.
Star Is Born? Which one is that? Sounds
Isn't
creepy.
First Man the one where they basically remove the fact that America was there first? And
Yep, they wanted to portray Neil Armstrong as a quote unquote citizen of the world and like a believer in globalism, and he wasn't. He was a patriot. He did it because America, fuck yeah, and they removed that. And Buzz Aldrin was like, "You have murdered the man's legacy. You have besmirched his memory."
Well, if there's two that I would suggest if you want to see two good moon movies. Well, one's a series, which was the one Tom Hanks did on HBO.
From the Earth to the Moon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard good things. I haven't watched that one yet, but I've heard very good things about it.
That's very awesome because he's very geeky. And go back even farther, like 3 decades, the Right Stuff.
Oh, yeah. I own that on 2 different editions. I've got the first cut DVD, which was like one of those double-sided DVDs because they couldn't put it all on one side. And then I have the second one, which was like the special edition or something.
Yeah. That's, they take liberties there too, but you get the, you get the context.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I also like Apollo 13. I thought that was a pretty good film.
Okay, now it is 420.
Woo! Hold on.
Wait. It's 420 for you. Okay. Well, it's always 420 somewhere.
I'm like, it's not 420 here, but I totally hit one for you anyway.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Before we get off air, we're getting closer and closer to my favorite holiday of the year, Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
So I will put this question to everybody. What movie would you recommend for this time of the season that people might not know about?
Ooh. A
good scary movie. It could be recent. It could be a guilty pleasure. It could be something that, affected you.
Dog Soldiers.
Is that a horror movie?
That is probably one of the best low-budget werewolf films I have ever seen.
Dog Soldiers.
Yes.
Okay.
Dog Soldiers.
I will.
Without screwing the details too much, it follows I want to say they're a British SAS team, or at least it involved them at some point. And basically, these soldiers trying to fight off a werewolf attack in an abandoned farmhouse in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, and good morning, Numbskull.
It is pretty damn cool.
Okay, I got that one written down. I'll have to take a look at it.
Do I have to say the most recent scary movie that I watched that actually kind of creeped me out? It's called The Lazarus Effect. I like more paranormal, like scary movies than I do slasher fix and things like that. But it actually made me slightly like I had to sleep with the light on to fall asleep kind of thing.
Okay. Because my brain is filled because I'm a big horror fan.
Same.
I'm always looking for shit that I haven't seen. Tyro?
Oof. I'm trying to think. I mean, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, but that one's kind of popular. Let's see.
Well, technically, it is a cult classic.
Yeah, I know. Man, Harold and Maude. That's another one. Although
That's not a horror film.
it's dark. It deals with death. I mean, there are several scenes where like he fakes the suicide. It's thematically appropriate.
Comedy.
Huh?
That's a dark comedy.
Yeah, deals with death. I mean, Halloween. Okay, all right. If you want something more horror, geez. Let's see. If you want to go with like Japanese schlock, Frankenstein Girl versus Vampire Girl. That's kind of hilarious. I'm trying to find. There's another one that's based on a video game. I'm trying to find. It's like Oba-chan Zombie Slayer or something like that. No, that's not it. It's about a girl who goes around in a cowboy hat and a bikini and kills zombies.
Well, alrighty then. Yeah, the last good zombie movie I saw was Train to Busan.
Oh, here we go. One Chan Bara. There we go. They made 2 movies based on it.
Muffin?
Hmm?
Did you do yours already?
Yeah.
I am getting I'm getting blurry. I apologize. Kadant?
Well, there's a couple I can think of. What's it? Fucking blah 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 blah. Scanners. I love the movie Scanners. I don't think that would really count.
That's a cult classic.
Yeah. Then there's what's the one about Chernobyl?
The Chernobyl Diaries?
I think so, yeah. I like that one. And then there's one fucking like something Serbian like Serbian movie or something like that. I don't understand like
that one's horrific.
yeah.
The Serbian film?
Yeah, there we go. And then Cannibal Holocaust. That's another one.
Yet another awesome cult classic, the original found footage film.
Oh, and then there's also the fucking the one about Sodom.
Was it 300 Days of Sodom?
Yeah, something like that. Like yeah, or 100 Days of Sodom, right?
Yeah, it's a triple digit.
Yeah, it's definitely something triple digit.
Yeah,
those are the ones that I could think of.
I haven't seen that one in a long time because it's pretty fucking gross.
And then one of my it's not horror. Well, maybe it is. Fuck. Well, okay, so Splice. I really like the movie Splice. I don't know if that counts as horror. It's like more sci-fi, I guess.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of horror to it.
Yeah. That would be my list.
I still recommend. It's a very low budget film, but for what they had to work with, it was pretty damn good. It's called Contracted.
Yeah, I remember you telling me
It's
about this.
it's essentially this girl tried to deal with the fact that she contracted something and it's slowly turning her into a zombie.
Okay. I want to say I've seen that on Netflix, but I haven't actually watched it yet.
Yes, it was on. I don't know. It probably still is on Netflix. One of the ones that freaked me out as a kid. If you can find it, good luck. It's a movie called The Green Slime. It was a Japanese movie produced by Americans with an American cast and also they had Italian backers too. And this movie is cheesy as shit, but I've always been into the type of horror movies that are a snowball effect, where if they would have just done one thing differently at the very beginning, they wouldn't be in such an amount of shit. But this movie was done back in like 1968.
Gotcha.
So it's cheap. You know, the models definitely look like cheap Japanese models. I'm trying to think of there was one other that I just watched recently that wasn't damn it. Yeah, I'm not going to remember it. I've been going back and watching at least one horror movie a day since October started. And I had my 1 week run of Japanese movies.
Nice.
If you guys haven't seen the original One Missed Call, not the remake, not the US version, but the movie One Missed Call was basically a parody of Japanese horror films, but it does have horror to it. But the whole premise is if you'll get a phone call, you get cursed and you get a phone call from yourself and you can hear how you die. And well, you get a phone call from somebody who has died. That's what it is. You get a phone call from somebody who has died and you can hear your own death. And then when you die, your phone calls somebody. And they'll either, you know, if you pick it up, then you'll get to hear it. If not, it goes to voicemail. So they have a lot of really interesting deaths. In the chat, I believe Henry G recommends Trick or Treat. That was kind of a fun movie. And Joshua, if you're talking about the live action Hellsing, that movie was horrible.
No. He's
You mean
definitely...
the anime?
Yeah.
Yeah, the anime is not bad.
I actually liked Blood, the Last Vampire, if we're going to talk about that.
Blood's good.
I heard somebody say that the live action Hellsing was bad.
Yes.
I assume you mean the one that had whatchamacallit, Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You're full of shit. You're an awful person for saying that. That was a fantastic fucking movie. I loved every fucking second of it.
Oh,
I'm not joking.
I disliked the Dracula in that one. The Dracula was just too foppish.
I loved him. He was so melodramatic, but at the same time, he was like, I'm clearly the villain of this piece, and I'm going to enjoy every moment of it. I adored that Dracula. I thought he was perfect. And that final fight scene between badass vampire and badass werewolf was cool as fuck to me.
That was a cool idea. I'll agree with you on that one.
I enjoyed every second of it. I wish they'd made a sequel.
Oh God, no!
I thought the werewolves in that were so much better than anything in Underworld. Oh,
Well,
So
Underworld.
much cooler.
I don't know. I kind of like the original Underworld. I think it got out of hand later on.
I think the Underworld werewolves, Underworld werewolves looked like they were not good. I
Oh.
did not like them.
Didn't the Underworld series basically turn into an excuse for who's the lead actress?
Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah, didn't it just turn into an excuse to, hey, look, here's Beckinsale in leather.
I mean, they do have lore behind it. They have quite involved lore behind it, actually. My biggest problem with it is that supposedly, I personally find a huge plot hole in Underworld, and that's that they're also terrified of these werewolves 24/7. But when you go and look at the actual body counts, except for like the train or whatever early on, in I think the first movie, the werewolves rarely kill anybody, and they're dispatched ridiculously easy.
So they failed to establish their main threat as a threat.
Exactly. And then like you have Underworld Rise of the Lycans, and in Rise of the Lycans, it shows that the werewolves were this imprisoned race. But they were imprisoned and enslaved by the vampires because they were so powerful, so they had to be kept as slaves and put down. But even when they rise up, it's not even a full-blown revolution. It's just they do a little fighting and they run away. And it's like, but you're supposed to be super fucking badass. And if you take a look at every single mythology that involves both vampires and werewolves, one-on-one, the werewolf eviscerates the vampire. And so because the vampires have magic and usually numbers, is how they win. It bothered the shit out of me.
I remember in World of Darkness, the old RPG. If you played vampire, you referred to werewolves as Aggie death machines.
Yeah, 9-foot tall chainsaw fang wielding death machines. Yeah.
Here's another one, an oldie but a goodie, called The Gate.
Ooh, yeah, I remember that one.
It's I think Brad Dourif's first movie, and he's a little kid. They basically decide to tear down, get rid of a big tree in their backyard, and when they pull the tree up, it was basically blocking the gateway to hell.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to figure out a way to close the gate and keep the demons from coming through. And it's kids having to figure it out. It's like a horror version of Goonies.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it was a great premise. And
what's it called?
The
Gate.
The Gates. I'm gonna have to write that down.
And it is they do stop action animation on it, but it's probably some of the best that I've ever seen. It ranks up there with Harryhausen.
What year was it made?
Oh my God. Like 86, maybe 87.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find a date on that.
Okay.
Oh, okay. You know what? I just remembered. Okay, here's an excellent obscure horror film, The Other, from 1972. It's really good. It involves twins. You get it's like a psychological horror with some good twists. I won't spoil it. I read the novel as a kid, and then I got to see the movie. It's hard to find. It is a hard to find film. It was on. I had it on VHS, but I don't know if they've released it on DVD even. But that one's really good. So if you can track down The Other from 1972, that's a good one.
I actually had to go to the MGM website, which I think Warner's owns MGM now, and buy a copy because they have this thing where anything that's in their catalog that that hasn't been released for mass marketing, but it has been digitized, you can pay $20 and get a copy of it.
That's cool.
So
Nice.
I have a copy of Green Slime. Oh, by the way, there is the link to the gate. It was 1987, so boom, yeah, that was pretty close.
Yes.
Oh, well, another good one, which I guess is kind of sci-fi horror, and you guys have probably never heard of this one either. It's called Damnation Alley. It's basically the story of this they have World War III. The nukes hit so hard it knocks the Earth off of its axis. So they have to deal with both radiation and literally survival against nuclear amped up like mutant scorpions and cockroaches and
That's
just
terrifying.
yeah, bad things all together. This was a movie that was, God, I'd say maybe 79, somewhere around there. I don't know, Henry. What is VRV?
So it's the Fallout series?
Well, now this might have inspired it.
Yeah,
but
because
they
I mean,
do-
fighting giant mutated scorpions on a radiated world sounds a lot like Fallout.
Well, since it came 40 years before the video game, I'm pretty sure one borrowed from the other.
Oh, I'm not disputing that at all. I'm just saying it sounds like the Fallout series in a movie format.
But they do have the biggest, baddest, bestest recreational vehicle you will ever see in your life. And the damn thing is not just a movie prop, it's actually functional.
Oh.
Sweet.
They the US military actually even looked at it to see if it would be viable as a troop transport. But yeah, the only other scary movie I can think of is, of course, Showgirls.
Twilight. Yeah, I know.
That movie scares me, and I'm fearless.
I actually thought the It remake, the one that just recently came out, was both a decently frightening movie and genuinely a solid film.
Well, it was definitely scarier than the miniseries.
If you haven't seen it, or even if you have, I would highly recommend going to watch it. Even foregoing the horror elements, if you're not easily frightened, the movie itself is just very well done. It's a very solid movie from start to beginning. And I realize, coming from me, that probably doesn't sound like a whole lot, but quite seriously, it is a very, very well-made movie.
Well, but here's the problem I have with Stephen King adaptations. All of them suck unless Frank Darabont is actually doing the adaptation.
That sounds like a personal bias.
Well, because it, I mean, come on, you've read it, right? You've actually read the book, right?
A long time ago, yes.
Okay, so you know that the big giveaway is it's a fucking space spider.
Yeah.
Stupid, dumb, stupid, dumb, stupid. So you're dealing with a failing premise right off the top.
Well, hold on. I don't see how that makes it a failing premise, just because it's something that, I mean, what it boils down to, something that you don't necessarily like, doesn't make it a failing premise.
It's a cop out. It should have been something. It should have been something more supernatural. You know, some type of ancient evil instead of, you know, an alien that, you know, resurfaces every so often to feed and eat and then goes back down.
So is Tommy Knockers a cop out then?
Tommy Knockers blows.
I thoroughly enjoyed Tommy Knockers.
Oh,
I don't
would. I have lost so much faith in you.
Your first mistake was having faith in me to begin with, but all right.
Well, I didn't say I had a lot. I just lost so much.
I don't see why having a sci-fi premise over a supernatural premise is in any shape or form a bad thing. I mean, there are quite a number, and I mean a vast number of good authors who utilize supernatural means in order to basically cop out as well. I mean, I could look at Dean Koontz for that.
Well, yeah, you can constantly look at Dean Koontz and Peter Straub.
All right, I need to get going, guys. I've got a long day ahead of me tomorrow. 'Cause I got a thing in the morning, and then I've got lo-fi in the evening, so I need my energy for that.
Yes.
And energy you shall have. Thank you for showing up, sir.
No problem. It's always fun hanging out with you, man.
It was nice to meet you.
Yes, we should stream together more, Muffin.
Okay.
I sound British. That's awesome. All right. Bye, y'all.
Because Muffin's the popular girl.
Yes,
I have no idea why, to be honest, but thank you.
Everybody wants a bit of Muffin.
Fuck yeah.
I'm so delicious.
Yes. Num num.
But
I'm not even high.
yeah, I don't know. I have an inherent problem with Stephen King. It's just like every book that he made after Eyes of the Dragon. Well, I include Eyes of the Dragon, was just kind of a cop out, kind of a grind. But he kind of does that. He's a person who writes weak endings for most of his books. But I did actually put in a request to see if I can get an interview with him. So we'll find out next year if I can get him on the show.
Oh, that would be
awesome.
Yeah, I talked to his assistant, and I'm like, well, you didn't really say no because he's booked up for the rest of the year and rarely does interviews, blah, 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 that kind of shit. And I'm like, well, you're not telling me no. So, yeah, mind if I hook back up with you? And they're like, yeah, try us, somewhere in February of next year. So, yeah. I'm hoping I can get John Carpenter on before he dies, because that motherfucker's old.
Yeah.
I don't think he's got much left in him.
Probably not.
But yeah, that's somebody I could really have a deep conversation with. But yeah, I guess yeah, that is kind of true. He ever since Stephen King got hit by the truck, he's been a different writer. And I don't care what anybody says, I am not fucking reading Dark Tower. It's not going to happen because my wife is a big Stephen King fan. She read it and she's like, you don't want to read this. And she proceeded to spend 2 hours telling me the entire story.
Oh, wow.
And she's like, and this happened at the end. And the first thing I said was, fucking Stephen King.
Not gonna lie though, the ending of that book really, or the ending of that series really pissed me off. Cause like when I was reading the last book and he gets there and like right when it says that like it felt familiar, I was literally sitting there like, don't do it. Please don't do this to me. And I'm reading and I'm just like, I swear to fucking God, Stephen King, if you do this to me, I will hunt you down and I will murder you slowly. And I'm reading and that's exactly what happened. And I'm like in the middle, like it's in the middle of the day and I'm sitting outside of a Starbucks reading this book and I proceeded to start just like yelling at the top of my lungs, I fucking hate you. Why did you do this to me? And just really wanted to take the book and like rip it up into tiny little itty bitty pieces.
Oh yeah. Wifey, by the time she got to the end of telling me the story, she was in a full on rage.
Yeah. No, it's very, very frustrating.
Well, and also there were a lot of people who didn't like The Mist, the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, did you read the short story? Well, technically he called it a novella.
Yeah.
I'm like, did you read it? And they're like, well, no. And it's like, so you don't know that basically Stephen King gave up on the story? And
the movie was so much worse than the book, and I mean the ending of it, like, meant by worse, I mean tragic.
oh, it was horrible. And
Oh my
even
God.
Stephen King said, you know, fuck you, Frank Darabont. That was better than I ever thought up. And
It,
you know, when you're getting praise from the author that says that you did my story better,
yeah,
then that definitely means something.
like it was, just the way they, that movie, like, because I read the little story, the novella, whatever you want to fucking call it. I read that. The movie tore my heart to shreds, and I'm one of those people who's very proud to be like, what heart? What is this heart that you talk about? And that, oh God, it's like, even thinking about it, like I'm getting a little like, fuck,
Well,
you
yeah,
know?
and the novella was literally a cop out. You know, they're in the car, they're driving, and we hear one word, banger, and that's the end of the fucking story. There's no conclusion to the story because, and Stephen King admitted this in interviews, is that he just ran out of gas on it and decided just to close it.
Yeah, he left it wide open. He left that ending wide open for the possibility of hope.
Yeah, and I mean, the movie is a knife in your guts.
Yeah. Oh God,
What
yeah.
movie is this?
The Mist.
Oh, okay.
Oh, thinking about it, like just thinking about it makes me like I almost want to cry.
I haven't seen it.
I'd say that's probably Thomas Jane's best performance.
It was better than his performance in the Crow, or yeah.
No, Punisher.
Oh, Punisher? Yeah, I loved him in Punisher. I absolutely loved him in Punisher. I hated the second Punisher though. I was just like,
Well, I don't know. Well, wait a minute. Technically, that is the second Punisher because the first one was Dolph Lundgren.
no. The second one was Dolph Lundgren. First one was Thomas Jane.
No. The original Punisher was Dolph Lundgren. He was the first one to bring him to the screen. I wouldn't kid you.
You might want to look this up, Doc. I'm pretty sure you might be getting them mixed up.
I hate to prove you wrong,
Okay.
but I will if I have to.
Please, no, please do, because I want to make sure that I'm getting it right, because I think you might be wrong on this.
Oh my God. Henry in the chat said The Happening sucked too. That movie was ridiculously dumb.
The original Punisher movie with Dolph Lundgren came out in 1989.
I don't know.
The Thomas Jane one came out in 2004. And then Punisher Warzone.
Okay, that's what I did. I mixed that up. I apologize. You're right.
Punisher Warzone was the best one up until they did the Netflix series.
I didn't like Warzone.
Well, it was more like a Punisher movie. You know, just blood and violence all over the damn place. But have you seen the Netflix one?
No, not yet.
That one is the best one Marvel Studios has done for Netflix. I think it surpasses Daredevil, even though Daredevil is pretty good. And I would rate my number 2, actually. Daredevil would be number 3. I would rate Jessica Jones as number 2.
Are you talking about the show Daredevil or the movie Daredevil?
The show.
Okay, I was gonna say, please don't tell me the movie Daredevil is one of your favorites.
No, it's cheese. It's total cheese. My most favorite live action superhero movie has been and probably always will be the original Superman, because I saw it when it came out in '78, and I did believe that a man could fly when I walked out of that theater.
All right.
And so cute.
And yeah, I was a kid too. Yeah, I still had the disco pants on. You know,
Nothing wrong with that.
I believe it.
it was bell bottom blues all the way.
I still wear bell bottoms if I can find them.
I think my favorite superhero movie so far was probably Iron Man 3.
Oh, stop it.
No, solely because they actually showed a superhero having PTSD. And that was something they hadn't really done a whole lot of anywhere, despite these guys going through constant shit 24/7. And then they have, Tony Stark, who is having panic attacks and mental breakdowns and shit because of what he went through in the first Avengers flight. And I thought that was really cool. They tried to tackle that. It may not have been the best job, and the movie wasn't amazing, but I really like that they decided, we're going to address this as a part of the lore. I thought that was cool.
Well, it pissed off fans so much that they had to do that Marvel one shot, "Hail to the King," because they completely fucked up Mandarin.
Well, I mean,
Oh yeah.
personally, I didn't get much into the comics when I was a kid because of the household I grew up in. So I didn't really have a whole lot of ability to read a huge number of comics like that. So like Mandarin being quote unquote fucked up, it never really applied to me, I guess. But it was the same reason why I like the Transformers flicks, because it was not a part of my childhood.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out, once they got to Avengers in Infinity War, Pepper was fine. She doesn't even have the Extremis anymore. And that drove me nuts that they just tossed that away. And really, it was kind of a deus ex machina anyway.
Well, it was, and that's why I said, it wasn't by any means amazing. It's one of my favorites because they actually tackle the concept that superheroes can actually go through things like PTSD.
Wow. Yeah, they kind of explore that with the Punisher Netflix series too.
I've watched the first 3 episodes of that. So,
and by the way, I think John Barenthal does a hell of a job as Frank Castle. There are some roles that people were born to play, and this just might be his. Like Jeffrey Dean Morgan doing the comedian in Watchmen.
I swear to God, man, I want to climb that man like a tree.
Daddy Dean Morgan.
Oh God, he's so pretty.
And
I'm telling you, you need to watch Walking Dead, Muffin.
I don't know. I've seen him in the costume. Like I've seen clips of it and everything. Like I know.
No. My favorite is like when Negan goes into town and he gets he has that fucking shit-eating grin on his face, and I'm just like, please let me sit on that. Like, oh, thank you.
And with that, I'll say good morning, Social Rec.
Good morning, Social Rec.
Good morning.
But yeah, I mean, it's coming from my age perspective. We sincerely never thought we would have these kind of movies. We never thought that Hollywood could have the tech to pull off any type of grand scale, which that's what superheroism is all about. and now they're gallivanting around the galaxy and wiping out half of all life in the known cosmos.
It's kind of glorious.
Um,
The wiping out of half of life in the known cosmos thing, not the technology.
well, yeah, I mean, and well, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is number 2 as far as actors that have played in live action comic book movies.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, of course, goes to Chris Evans. He's been in more live action movies about comic book characters. Now, this is playing different characters. Because, yeah, he's done Captain America. He did one of the guys from The Losers. He played Johnny Storm.
Mm-hmm.
For Fantastic Four. Technically, Snowpiercer was also based on a comic book.
I did not like him I didn't like Captain America at all until Winter Soldier.
Oh, Winter Soldiers.
I was not a fan of the Captain America concept in the least until Winter Soldier.
Well, wait, that's when Russo's took over, right?
I don't know. The only reason I even started liking him is because, I think in the first 30 minutes of the movie, they have the elevator fight scene. And the elevator fight scene is what made me like him, because there's that point where the bad guys are like, nothing personal, Captain. And at the very end, he, after he's finished the fight, he looks at him and he's like, it kind of felt personal, but not in a snarky sort of way. It kind of felt personal, in an actual, genuinely hurt way. No, that felt like it was personal. I don't understand. And that was when I went, okay, I can get a little more. I guess Winter Soldier opened up the mindset for Captain America just a little more for me. It made him a little more human and less of a, I guess, a goody goody.
Yeah,
which I appreciated.
Yes, that was the first one that the Russo brothers directed.
Oh,
he was just a bit more human there, and I appreciated that little dose of humanity they gave him.
Well, for all the accolades that Joss Whedon gets, I think he's got a typical stable of characters that he writes the same way, that he'll break them down into archetypes and then just make them act like that. So yeah, I don't think he had a grasp on Cappy in the first 2 Avenger movies. But I did like the first Captain America movie. What they call it now, the first Avenger.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't dislike the movie. I just disliked the character. If that makes sense.
I've always been a Cappy fan.
I never disliked him before. Like I said, it was for the movie, the first Captain America flick. I just was not a fan of him particularly. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Well, he's just like Superman. He's a big old Boy Scout.
He's a Nazi now, so whatever.
No, they're done with that plot.
Yeah,
he's back.
Yeah.
So why was he a Nazi?
Because it was a stupid fucking move by Marvel.
Okay, yeah, but what was the ridiculous plotline reason for him being a Nazi?
Basically, because he was brainwashed by Hydra, and he became a Hydra agent.
So how did they reconcile him murdering so many people?
Well, it was a double cross.
So they weren't actually dead?
And he was forgiven.
Right. That sounds like a whole load of bullshit.
Well, they had SJW writers, so they fuckered Cappy over. What?
Maybe.
What do you want, kitty?
Attention. Yeah.
I will play you like a bagpipe.
Do it.
Kitty says no.
Kitty bagpipes.
Oh, kitty. Oh, my lovely kitty. You want to do kitty bagpipes? So that's a yes?
That is a very vocal cat.
Oh, kitty.
That is an excessively vocal cat.
Kitty bagpipes. Come here, give me a hug. Love my kitty. Yeah. She's giving me that look like if I could get into your room when you were sleeping, I would shit on your head.
Yeah. Oh,
Give me a kiss. Mwah, 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 mwah. I like how she just goes on. It's not just a wow. It's a like she's winding down.
Yeah, it's almost like a growly. Like that reminds me of like most cats' warning sign.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fuck you up.
she's never actively hacked me open. I'm just petting you a little bit more, and I'm gonna set you down. Okay. Okay.
Well, shit.
There you go.
Well,
All right. So now that we've pity bagpiped, it is 5 o'clock, and it's time to rock. So I will. Well, let me do the quick shill for my shite. People of the South Winds, if you're looking for something to do tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, I will be interviewing Justin Smith, the creator of Gulf City. Also, you might know him as Ghastly Ghost. All hell be well. We'll be sitting down talking about a lot of things. This is going to be an out of character interview. So we're going to talk to the artist, the writer, the animator that's behind the ever popular Gulf City cartoons. Should be a really fun interview. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. Well, technically today. So what, in 15 hours from now?
something like that.
I don't know. Math was never my strong suit. And then after that, of course, on the 23rd, we'll have the Killing Joke in. And yep, this will be without mask or gimmick anyway. It's just going to be two old farts sitting back talking about life. And then for our Halloween special on the 30th, we're going to have the creator of the Friday the 13th franchise, Mr. Sean Cunningham. This ought to be a pretty damn interesting show. Because, this is just not going to be talking about horror. We actually get to talk to a real Hollywood producer who's been doing this shit for over 40 years. So that's going to be a really, really interesting sit down. But besides that, I would like to thank all the people who showed up this evening. Of course, Antihero, Pyro. Seems like another guy that I missed. No, I didn't. And because, we always save the best for last. So also thank you, Muffin Button. And thank you, Cadet, for, as always, having my back.
Yeah.
And hopefully, when you all get up for work or get ready, get dressed, the sun comes up, you'll have a good day. And you'll come back and say hi to me. Drop by the chat, say hello for the show tonight. But, well, do have a wonderful day. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm going to bed, fuckers. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Sun's getting real low, big guy.